catch is made. And fumbles. Valley causes a fumble. It's picked up. Recovered by Mason Morris. Mason picks up where he left off last year, one of the leading rushers in Central Iowa.
It's time now for West Des Moines Valley High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is Iowa's premier source for live-streamed high school football. High school football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Atlantic Bottlers, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, G&L Clothing. Now, let's go to our CISN.TV team for Valley Tiger High School football.
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Work, play, and everything in between. Stay cool with Carhartt from G&L Clothing. High-performance jackets, tees, and shorts. Whatever you do, you'll be more comfortable in Carhartt. Find it all at the Carhartt store inside G&L Clothing.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we got it all.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Yeah. Hey, I heard myself.
Hey, that means we're on, everybody. Hi.
How about that?
That's Keith Bornas, and he says hello. And I'm Paul Yeager, and I say hello. Glad to have you here. It's a beautiful night for high school football. It is Waukee and Valley here at Valley Stadium. Another season, Keith, of high school football on CISN.TV. Glad to have you along with us.
Well, thank you, Paul. You might be the only one, but
I
thank
think I'm the only one. Yeah, my mother doesn't even really like you. She just says more of you, less him. Another great season, and we're getting ready. We're just discussing. They just said John Mahoney's name, and you forget certain guys. They come and go, and names and all sorts of things happen, and that's what's going on tonight as we have a new video board, so I'm able to kind of cheat a look and see what they're talking about.
Right.
So I might actually tell you what's going on during the broadcast this year. We'll see.
Time will tell.
It'd be a first. There's a first time for everything.
That's right.
All right, so Keith, tonight we have Waukee at Valley, both teams 1-0. Both teams always high expectations. Valley last week goes over to perennial power Bettendorf, wins again just like they did last year at Valley Stadium. Waukee hosts Urbandale. They won. That's how you get two teams to go 1-0. You went over and saw the Valley game at Bettendorf.
Yes.
Tuval Stadium's quite a place, isn't it?
It's very nice.
It's a great stadium.
Great venue. I was actually very impressed when we walked in. They are really set up for concessions and all those different things. It's a wide, almost looking like a park you're walking into.
Yeah.
So
they keep it well, and they just put in the field turf there. I think it was just last year. So that was a grass field. They've won a few state titles over there. They kind of know how to play.
They do.
One of the things that developed with Valley, new quarterback, still a Lombardi. This time it's Bo, no longer Rocky. Rocky up at East Lansing at Michigan State. Bo, familiar with the offense, just in a different role.
He is in a different role, but it's still going to be fun to say the Lombardi name. We had high expectations when Rocky came in as a freshman and moved right up to the sophomore, played with them. Bo did the same thing. He skipped freshman, went to the sophomores. Last year he played some tight end, some fullback. But you know that those guys, when they went home, they were talking about the offense.
Yeah.
Rocky and Bo throwing the football around to each other quite a bit. They both wrestled, with Braden Heald and put him through the wall. So they understand contact and those different things. What I saw out of Bo last week was that he was not afraid to throw the ball. He throws the ball hard, almost too hard at times. And then he's just got to make sure that his release point, his timing, everything is there. But he does have some good receivers to throw to.
He does, and we'll kind of talk about some of those players here in a little bit. I'm throwing Keith already for a curve because now we're not going to talk players. But let's talk about Waukee, one of their players real quick, and that is their quarterback position. It's a very senior-heavy team, except a quarterback and wide receiver. A sophomore, Mitch Randall, getting the start.
And I certainly remember the Randall name very well from last year. The freshman team. He ran all over us. He threw the ball so well. And I think he ended up getting some sophomore time last year. He's the guy. I was talking to Coach Holcomb before the game, and you remember Coach Holcomb, that guy that used to coach at Valley? Well, he is now over at Waukee doing some coaching. And so we were talking a little bit before the game, and he said Randall is the real deal as far as just his overall athleticism. He is a thick kid for a sophomore. He moves well. He runs well. He throws well. And so now it's just going to be a question of how's his decision-making.
Sounds a lot like the good ingredients for a quarterback,
That's right.
Especially as a sophomore. We'll see how that's works up for him. And so there's all sorts of new things going on here at Valley Stadium. I do encourage you, if you are in West Des Moines, to actually come and watch. You can put us on your phone and eat away at your cell phone minutes. We're glad to have that. But the stadium experience is a lot different now because they're putting photos and video introductions on the board, and it's just going to be a whole different experience. We're going to hear from Brad Rose at halftime about some of the changes. And we'll also actually have a football game coming your way at the bottom of the half hour. But when we come back, we'll talk more about some of those players to watch and kind of give you an overview of what's ahead. We'll be talking with head coach Gary Swenson and Scott Carlson from the two coaches. We'll talk to them before kickoff, which is coming your way soon. You're watching high school football. This is CISN.TV.
Shattenkirk Chevrolet's Summer Drive event featuring the Power Price. If it's not the Power Price, it's not the lowest price. New 17 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition 4x4. Power Price. $269 per month lease. Only $19.99 down, includes all fees. Power priced 17 Silverado Crew LT 4x4s. $35,290. That's $13,000 off. Power priced 17 Cruise LTs. $16,890. 17 Malibu LTs. $20,390. 18 Equinox LTs. $23,990. Hurry in for best selection. Shattenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me. Because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium. Paul Yeager and Keith Bornis as we get you ready for the Valley Tigers and the Waukee Warriors. We talked earlier in this broadcast about a couple of the quarterbacks, and Bo Lombardi for Valley and Mitch Randall for Waukee. Last week, Randall ran the ball really well as the quarterback, not only passed the ball, running. He was just – it's a very tough dual threat, and it's always kind of hard to stop those guys that can do both of those things.
Well, not only that, everybody that has a running quarterback is going to these RPOs, and not only do you have this run-pass option, you also have just the option itself. And so with the attacking of the option, you're looking at the front line of the defensive line. These RPOs allow you to look at the linebackers into the defensive backs, and a quarterback that can read that and will cause havoc because you don't have to worry about the front guys. You're not reading that. You're reading it further down the field.
And that's, again, trying to elevate a 15, 16, 17-year-old to do that is impressive. All right, with Waukee, they also, on the defensive side, they have a very familiar name. It's another Nelson. This time it's Nathan. And he is just like Anthony, and Anthony's had a pretty good season. Going to get a lot of time tomorrow for the University of Iowa, and now Nathan is a disruptor up front for Waukee.
One of the things that both coaches will tell you is that the offensive line is still questionable. Got new guys in, young guys in. How they gel is going to be very important. They would also tell you that their defensive lines are pretty stout. And so Coach Swenson and Coach Carlson will say they're almost mirrors of each other when it comes to their offense and their defense as far as the potential.
And that's something we'll see as it develops and as it plays out. And for Valley, they've moved a couple of guys from the offensive line to the defensive line and still trying to just find that. They just don't have those Barnetts or Campos that they had for so many years, just those monster guys. But you can still win with a guy as long as the technique is right and the position's right. You don't have that 6'4", 6'5" body.
Right, and a team that does have those guys, you have to be more than just a body. You can have a great size and not be able to move well. You can be a small guy and move extremely well. And so it's going to be a big test tonight for those guys. But, yeah, where did they go? We're not 100% sure. We don't see the big guys on the basketball floor either.
Yeah.
We have some height,
right,
but not those thick body guys.
You just never know, and you see how that plays out. So Javon Mason is another guy, another Mason. Ty was such a good player. Javon has been getting a lot more time and feeling a lot more comfortable. He had runs last week of 94 and 50.
They were impressive. The 94-yard run, there's one thing that I noticed about Javon. Last year we talked about him coming into his own and being a power guy. He could make you miss. He could also run over you. What I noticed about Javon last week, he's setting up blocks. And so he's got the pausing, he's got different things, and receivers. When you have receivers that are actually faster than you are, they get down and make blocks. There was a great block by Trey Fugate last week where he had literally knocked out 2 defenders, but it happened on the 15-yard line, clear on the other end from where the play started.
Downfield blocking is key.
Yes.
If you can just get downfield, that's part of it. So, all right, Keith, thank you very much. We'll talk to you here right before kickoff, but when we come back, we'll talk with head coach Scott Carlson of Waukee. We'll also talk to head coach Gary Swenson of the Valley Tigers, and then, oh, by the way, we'll have kickoff at 7:30. So for right now, it's Keith and Paul. We're back after this on CISN.TV.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
Coach, you're playing Valley, at Valley, and it's some of these same names that you've had to see for years, a Mason, a Lombardi. What's different about these two than their older brothers?
Well, I think not a lot, quite honestly. These young men are both equally talented kids. I think they're both, have tremendous upside in terms of, where they're heading after their high school years. And they're going to be a handful and then some for us to contain tonight. And it's just going to be a testament to see if we can do it consistently. I think our defense is definitely ready to go tonight, but we're realists. We know that they're loaded with some tremendous talent, and we're just going to have to be spot on.
What is it about a good running back that always kind of sends a little cold shiver through a coach?
Well, I think that no matter what the down and distance where they line up, if they touch it and they get the right seam, they can be gone. And I think, we saw that on film last week with, a couple of big runs at Bettendorf. I think if you feel like you're in pretty good shape defensively, and then all of a sudden he puts you out of shape and takes it to the house. So he's capable of taking it, from 99 yards anywhere from there on in. So we certainly have a lot of work to do with him tonight.
But you got a defensive line. We talked about Nelson earlier in the week, just how special of a player he is. You got a great up front line. You got to feel pretty good about that.
Well, no question. And that's one of the strengths of our team, I think, this year is the returners on defense, particularly up front. We feel really good about that. Our 3 linebackers returned from last year. There aren't many teams that can probably say that. They have 3 returning linebackers starting for you that following season. So we do feel good about that, and not just the fact that they're returning, but also that they're quality young men and great players.
You got a lot of returning seniors, a lot of seniors on this team, a lot of returning players. What's that done in your off-season approach? What's that mindset of these guys?
Well, I think it's a little different than last year. I think we probably came in under the radar a little bit last year. Lots of untested, inexperienced players, and not just inexperienced. A lot of times you'll have seniors that are inexperienced that'll step in there, but a lot of juniors last year, and that's a little bit different for us, and I think a little bit different for a lot of teams. So I think that was what was a pleasant surprise for us last year, to see them kind of over the course of the season really step up and up their game, and so now it's their turn to come in and when everybody knows them a little bit better, to see what they can do.
Offensively, a line, you have, again, returning players up there. Tell me about some of those guys that you have up there.
Yeah, Charlie Golding got some good quality starts for us last year. Certainly Kyle Sorensen had a really nice year for us last year, and those are our 2, bookend tackles. Blake Sherman, one of our guards, played a ton of football for us last year, started virtually in every game, and so those guys give you that veteran experience that you're looking for. We're still looking to, we've been a little bit beat up in the offensive line, to establish that chemistry. I think more so than any other unit of football, the offensive line has to have that chemistry between one another. And I think we're going to get there. It's, is it going to be tonight? Is it going to be, next week or 3 weeks from now? That's the thing we don't know yet. And we're not there yet, but they continue to show progress.
That's always those things that keep you up at night or during this day, trying to figure out how you're going to, how do you develop a 16 and 17-year-old to get to where you need him to be?
Well, absolutely. And I think, the way that our schedule is front-loaded, it really doesn't give you the luxury of having a lot of time to do that. It's we've got our work cut out for us in that first season. We know that, or that first part of the season. And, this is just one more of those great tests of clearly one of the best football programs in the state of Iowa. And we're going to find out where our deficiencies are, that's for sure, and they'll expose them if we don't do things right.
You have the second varsity start for a sophomore quarterback. Game's got to slow down a little bit for him. He's probably feeling it's pretty fast right now.
Yeah, and again, you put the speed of a defense like Valley out there, and then that just takes it up a notch further still. So, you're playing quarterback at the freshman level a year ago tonight, and now this. So it'll be really interesting to see how Mitch comes along tonight. We're really excited because we feel like we've got a great kid, and he's going to be a good one for a number of years for us. It's just a matter of, once again, how long does it take before he feels like he can settle in and get comfortable. We know he'll get there at some point, hopefully sooner than later.
We'll see you soon. Thank you, Coach.
All right, you bet. My pleasure, Paul.
Appreciate it. All right, that's head coach Scott Carlson of the Waukee Warriors. And now let's talk with head coach Gary Swenson of the Valley Tigers. Well, Coach, another new group that gets to go out and play at Valley Stadium for the first time. Do you have to talk to these guys? They're very familiar with it. They play freshman, they play sophomore here, but it's still that first varsity home game. How do you kind of keep guys in check?
Well, I don't think it's the facility. I think it's probably just the setting, the crowd, the fact that it's their first game here this year. But you're right, they've all played here. This is nothing new to them. We haven't been practicing here like we have in the past, so maybe the familiarity isn't quite as strong, but that won't have any factor in tonight's game. It'll depend on how both teams play and how efficient we can execute what we're trying to do.
I always ask, is this a cliche for you? You make your most improvement between week 1 and 2. Do you subscribe to that?
I don't know if you make your most, but there clearly should be some improvement, and I would hope that we've made some. Last week was ragged, but we expected that, and some of that had to do with a pretty quality opponent. But I would like to think that we didn't practice this week for nothing. I would hope that we got better, and I'm sure they did too. So I think we'll play well tonight.
Your offensive line it's a little different than you've had in a lot of years. How do you develop those guys in practice? Because those are not the same as game reps.
No, you can't. I mean, you can't duplicate it. You can even go first team against first team, offense against defense. But after a few days, you get used to trying to block the same guy and seeing the same defense. So you need an opponent. Last week was good for them. They struggled at times, which we expected. But, it's going to be a long process for us this year with that group. I think they're going to get better, though, and I'm hopeful by the end of the year, if we keep them all on the field and healthy, that it's a very competent group.
Let's keep on that offensive side. A different Lombardi at quarterback. Bo's got to handle the offense. He played as the tight end or wherever you needed him last year. How do you work him through in that transition to quarterback?
Well, he's still making it, and I think that his progress will be, marked from last week to the end of the year. I mean, it's one thing to play, but it's another to play quarterback, and he wasn't playing quarterback at any level last year because that's what the circumstances dictated. But I think he will improve. I didn't think his accuracy was very good last week. I thought his command of what we were trying to do was okay. But he just missed some passes, but that's what he's been doing in practice. So, but we know he'll improve. He's a good leader. He understands what we're doing. He's smart. He's tough. I'm thrilled he's our guy.
And he's thrown to Tariq Brown, who's back. I mean, that's probably who teams focus on, and I would assume that's what you think they're going to do is focus on him. So how do you get the other guys in the mix?
Well, I mean, we don't really design a whole bunch of stuff for any one guy because you never know, somebody could get hurt but we certainly know where he's at all times. And I thought last week he made a couple catches that helped us close the game out. He's an outstanding player, and I think he's going to have a big year.
But let's face it, everybody's really kind of focusing on number 5 in the backfield, another Mason. Talk about Javon's development here.
Well, I thought he had a great week at Bettendorf. He made a couple of runs that were as good as we've had a back ever make here. And there wasn't a lot of room to run. So, but he's that kind of a back. He can make you miss, or he can run through a tackle. If he's on the field all year, he's going to have a big year. He'll have a huge year for us.
defensively, how do you start up front again for me? What do you talk about some of those guys in the front and how you have to get them to perform and disrupt offenses as best they can?
Well, we're rotating about 7 guys up there. I think, and I like all of them. They're playing hard. Darius Manuel played a lot last year. I would say that he's probably maybe our best defensive lineman, but the other guys aren't too far behind. I like all those guys. Darius would be the one guy that would have gotten the most playing time a year ago. We've got a couple of juniors up, Logan Cruzman, Jacob McCudden. They're both going to be outstanding players. We took Joel Shaner and moved him from linebacker to edge guy, and he's doing well. Julius Amafadon played offensive line last year, and we moved him. He's getting playing time. Logan Castle's a big interior defensive lineman for us who is also playing, and I like our rotation up there.
Linebackers, not a lot of starts with those guys. They've really got one under their belt, so that's also one of those works in progress for you.
It is. But they're all three going to be good players. Joe Wellman is playing our inside guy. Jake Snyder's another senior who's playing the other inside position. And Bracken Cobb is a junior who's playing our Sam linebacker. Very talented athlete. Carson Shelton is helping out there, and he's helping us out offensively as well. And we expect him to be a big contributor for us. So those are all good kids. We've got players on defense that we should be pretty solid.
Got to face Waukee tonight. A whole lot of seniors on this team. These guys have advanced well, played well. They're in a system. They know it. Seniors are always hard to beat, but who stands out that you're kind of going, where's that guy, that guy, that guy?
Well, I thought their sophomore quarterback played really well last week. He's outstanding and carried it a bunch of times. He threw well. You know, the Perry kid at tailback, solid. They've got another big Sorensen kid in the offensive line. I like all those guys. They've got a lot of playing time under their belt. They've got a good football team.
And then you got to deal with another Nelson on the defensive line.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's not as long as his brother was. He's not quite as tall, but he's still a big, lanky young man who's tough and uses his hands well. So we got our work cut out for us today.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
That's head coach Gary Swenson of the Valley Tigers. Kickoff between Waukee and Valley coming your way next on CISN.TV.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather's Specialty Pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
It is time for high school football. Good evening, everybody. A pleasant one to you wherever you may be around the world watching us tonight on CISN.TV. It's the Valley Tigers home opener against their rival, the Waukee Warriors. Hello, everybody. Paul Yeager alongside Keith Bornis for this contest that's about ready to kick week 2 of the high school season here in 2017. And we're all watching the video board to the right and soon to the left. We're going to see the Tigers come out into the field, Keith. This is an entirely different experience now. This is big time.
It really is. That scoreboard, that video board is really amazing. Thank you to Brad Rose and everybody that's worked on trying to get that done. And, yeah, it looks sharp. And how about the new uniforms?
The uniforms don't look too bad either, and they're all black with white pants, orange trim, and also with a black stripe there on the left side of those. And if you haven't noticed, the light's hitting that orange V a little differently tonight, Keith. It's a little more metallic in that helmet.
It really is. They look sharp. Last week we saw a couple of guys come out onto the field during the sophomore game down at Bettendorf, and I overheard one say to another teammate as he was looking up at the helmet, the jersey, he said, "Wow, we look kind of fly."
Well, and we're going to try to bring you a fly broadcast here as well. Let's give you those starting lineups for the Waukee Warriors, who don't look too bad in their own all-white road uniforms, white pants with white top and purple numbers, purple helmet with a white face mask. And that is what the Waukee Warriors with Waukee on the front of their uniforms. Their defensive side, their front line, Jake Morris in the end, Nathan Nelson at tackle. The nose is Dre McHugh and Jacob Porter at the right tackle. The cornerbacks are Owen Minshall and Zach Eaton. The linebackers, Trey Hardy, Nathan McDonald, and Hunter Deskin, and Nolan Rothler. The safeties are Ethan Rose, and that's Rothler. He is the other safety. For the offense, for the Waukee Warriors, up front, it starts with Charlie Goulding at left tackle, Evan Gray at guard, Carter Boyd is the center, Blake Sherman at guard, Kyle Sorensen is the right tackle. The tight end is Jake Morrison. One receiver is Tyrese Moore. Another receiver is Sam Odell. The halfback, Jordan Perry. The fullback, Braden Tessau. And the quarterback, number 4, the 6', 190-pound sophomore, Mitch Randall. That's your Waukee Warriors, and here is a look at your defensive lineup for the Valley Tigers. Darius Manuel, Ryan Funk, Jacob McCudden, and Logan Crossman up front. The linebackers are Joe Wellman, Jake Snyder, and Bracken Cobb. Your cornerbacks are Connor Shelton and Noah Samples. The safeties, John Shaner and Victor Areola. And we're having right now at midfield, Valley won the toss and deferred. Waukee will receive and defend the north end zone. The Valley offense, which will be on the field second, is Adam Klinkner at tackle, Lex Nelson, Zach Shaner, Carter Lawrence, and Jake Remsburg up front. You can hear the stadium shaking now as we're moments from kickoff. Javon Mason, Creighton Mitchell at running back, Jalen Long at wide receiver, as is Tariq Brown, and your quarterback is Bo Lombardi.
You know, Paul, as you look out there, there's one person out that's not out there for Waukee, and that is Sam DeVries, who is kind of a tough loss for them right now. He's out with a shoulder injury, and we certainly wish him the best as the season continues.
And Trey Fugate not in the lineup for the Tigers either tonight. Those are your two injury updates as we're ready to play here on CISN.TV. Glad to have you here. We have another game going on as well. Dar is over at Johnston as their contest at their brand new stadium. You think the scoreboard's nice. Wait till you see that place over at Johnston. And Valley is ready to kick off. New kicker this year. Got to get used to a whole bunch of different guys. Kicking off for the Valley Tigers is Tinsley Wright. Back deep for Waukee is number 7. That's Blake Esplin. Wright gets his leg into it. High end over end kick's going to go 3 yards deep. And the Tigers pin him back and force the Warriors to start 1st and 10 from their own 20.
And for those of you who are looking out the back of the end zone, as always, we have the Sonnenberg kid who returned more kickoffs last year than anybody else Valley went against, as Cole Hahn and some of the other kickers did a great job. Tinsley doing a nice job starting off this year. Got that into the end zone on night number 1 of home football.
Already it's a handoff up the middle to Perry, and he's going to go maybe 2 yards into the teeth of that Tiger defense up front. One of the last ones off the pile would be Joel Shaner. So Shaner in there early on in front of Krausman as a gain of 2 for Perry.
Waukee not wasting any time to get back up there.
That same type of offense that a lot of teams run, where they get up to the line, and if you're not ready, they'll snap it, but otherwise they go handoff again. Perry off left tackle, and he'll get a couple more up to about the 25 before he is brought down by Jake Snyder. Perry played limited last year, limited time, had an injury early on in the season. Now in his senior year, Jordan's trying to break free for Coach Scott Carlson and his Tigers, or his Warriors.
And he's very explosive up into that hole.
Hand off to Perry again off left tackle. He's got a first down. Daylight and more. 40. Cuts back on a dime. Cross midfield. 45-40. Still running on that far sideline before he's tackled at about the 30-yard line. What a play by Perry.
An explosive play. He hit that hole extremely hard. And I don't think the defense was expecting that. And as Coach Swenson said, you can't rep it in practice. You don't have people that you're going to be playing against hitting that hole, so it can sometimes be a surprise for you.
Ball goes up to the 33-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. That was 3rd and long, and they just ran the exact same play they did on 2nd down. Perry in that halfback slot next to Mitch Randall. Look for Randall to maybe throw it right here. They've had get Perry into the ball game, and Randall will. On 1st down, throw it down the far sideline, lofts it up there. Receiver's got it. Incomplete. Open for a moment was the receiver, Tyrese Moore, and it's batted away. It'll be 2nd down.
Nice job by Noah Samples on the defense there. That ball was thrown perfectly. A lot of times you tell your quarterbacks, you got to drop that into a 5-gallon bucket as it's moving. And he did a great job putting that ball where it should have been.
Took a chance down that left sideline. Handoff, option, keeper fumble. Ball's on the turf, picked up by the Tigers. And recovering the fumble and returning it ahead 4 to 5 yards is big number 21, Noah Samples, the cornerback, a 6'1 senior. That was his all the way.
It was. The little mishap with the possession of the ball. Noah Samples coming off a great defensive play earlier, picking up that ball. The only thing that would have been better for Valley is if there'd have been a little more freeway down that sideline.
No score, first turnover of the game. Here comes Bo Lombardi. Those are nice jerseys. The numbers aren't quite as big as they were before my eyes, Keith. I have to use the binoculars more to see them. Lombardi will go into the shotgun formation. He's even got tiger stripe shoes. Mason, the ball is over his head. Over Lombardi. He'll fall on it and go back 5 more. As the defense for Waukee, Hunter Deskin, was all over that play. You're just supposed to fall on it, not try to make anything happen.
Yeah, you really are. Not many good things happen after it's a snap over the head. At that point, it's all about just maintaining possession. Not that people haven't made great plays out of that, but it's such a rarity.
Lombardi now will face a much harder mountain to climb. It's 2nd and 29. Loss of 19. Play action to Mason. Lombardi is going to go down all the way back to the 20. Sniffing that one out completely was Jake Morrison. 6'3", 205-pound senior. He's got the speed on the edge, and he made that play happen.
A great job. Waukee's defense, all week long they've been talking about Waukee's defense is going to be all over the place, and they are putting some pressure on early.
The Tigers have gone backwards 26 yards. I got a long way to go. 3rd and 36. I don't know what play you have, but they're going to go Mason underneath. Javon gets out of 1 tackle and gets maybe 4 more up to about the 26-yard line, where Zach Eaton makes the stop. It'll be 4th and 36. So, field position, depending on this punt and return, will flip a little bit, much differently than this series that started back at the 43.
Yes, we have Cole Peterson in to do the punting this year. Another high snap.
The punt away by Cole Peterson. Ball bounces at about the 42, and then downing it for the Tigers is Carson Shelton. So Waukee, after all that's said and done, lost about 12 yards of field.
They did. And I think we're going to see a lot of that early on as both teams are kind of designed to wear each other down. And so conditioning is certainly going to be a factor as tonight goes. and experience on both sides of the ball, as Waukee has, 4 sophomores up, and Valley has 6.
Waukee starts at their own 45. 55 yards to pay dirt. Randall's going to keep it. Then he's going to get up in and behind the line of scrimmage. Coming out of nowhere, Joe Wellman.
Joe Wellman's done a great job in his career really developing into a great linebacker. One of the things that, there's 2 things that he has going for him. He's a good athlete, and he has 0 fear.
That can be both a blessing and a curse. Second down, fake the jet sweep. Randall's going to roll out to his far side and throw. Caught at midfield. First down and then some. Down that left sideline again is the big receiver for Waukee, Zach Eaton. Great catch, great run after the play. Good for enough for a first down and then some. Pickup of almost 20 yards on the play.
I got a feeling we're going to hear that name, Zach Eaton, quite a bit tonight. And probably also Brandon Tessau, as they are both two-way starters.
First and 10 inside Tiger territory for the second time this game. Randall has the football at the 32-yard line. In motion on the jet sweep, they go back to Perry. Cuts left, goes back up underneath before he's tackled by Adrian Guzman. A lot of Perry so far.
Yes.
Kind of what we expected.
Jordan Perry, tackle for the Tigers by number 65.
And a quick moving offense for the Tigers, are having to contend with anyway. Waukee gets the play signaled in. Randall looks left, throws left, down the sideline. He's got a man just off the reach. Going for more. And Connor Shelton, I believe, broke that pass up, Keith.
Yes. Very good coverage. Connor Shelton was right there every step of the way. Again, a very nice football thrown down the field. That ball traveled 35 yards in the air, and it was, well, it looked like it was going to drop into that bucket.
3rd and 7. Ball's at just inside the 30. Waukee needs to get to the 22. Fake the jet, go up the middle. Randall hops, skips, and jumps, but not enough. Up to about the 24, gain of about 4. And it looks like the field goal team.
Gain of 5, now 4th and 2.
For a moment, I thought it was. Let's see, this would be about a 42-yard field goal for Waukee. Play clock down to 18 seconds.
Got a little time to think about it.
Looks like they're going to just run a straight-up offensive play. Waukee needs to get about 2 yards. They've got a full house backfield, 8 seconds. They might call timeout and do.
As I look out there, looked like they had Nathan McDonald lined up at the fullback position.
We'll come back from that timeout and be back. No score early on here in the first.
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
On 4th and 2, it's a handoff to Jordan Perry for Waukee. The Warriors needed 2. They got 2 1/4. First down, move the chains. Just went off left tackle, full house backfield. Now they're back to a spread. They fake it to Perry, roll out Randall. He's going to run it. He sees a seam on the outside, and he's got about 9 yards. Almost 10. He is darn close to another first down.
We were talking a little bit before the game. I was talking to Jeff Crawford, and Crawford, the first thing he mentioned was, that Randall kid scares me. And it certainly appears he's got great command and great poise out there. I don't know if I've seen a sophomore have the poise that he has right now.
It was good enough for a first down. So move the chains again. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 11. So the Warriors can get a first down and not score a touchdown. So they basically have 8 chances to score here. Randall's going to keep it and run around the right side this time. But he has stood up and driven backwards. Stood up first by John Shaner.
And that's a real nice job by John Shaner working that edge. As a defensive line guy, especially out on the end position, you have got to make sure that you don't give ground. And John did a great job, or Joel did a great job setting that edge and letting his defense come up to finish out that tackle.
2nd and 9. Randall's able to get a yard. In motion, fake again the jet. Randall rolls, throws, wide open, caught and then dropped, and then they're going to say fumble. The officials are going to say that Zach Eaton caught it, was hit, and then fumbled for now.
That was a huge, huge hit on Eaton.
Eaton got popped, and the officials confer. It's going to be just like that, a hit and a fumble. So the Tigers recover the football back at the 8-yard line.
Eaton wide open out there, makes the catch. Jackson Barr came up and had a huge hit that jarred the ball loose, and then was able to get the fumble recovery.
So the drive stalls out, and the Tigers start at their own 8-yard line. They got a long way to go, and if the offense does anything like they did in that last series, they got to just get some positive yardage. Mason makes a move right, and boy, he just has nowhere to go, Keith.
No, the offensive line, they are working very hard for Valley, but right now they just have that inexperience, and they're running into a solid Waukee defensive line.
Gain of 3, and I don't know how Javon got that. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Lombardi is going to be in the backfield with Mason. Pass on the way. Get it out to the far side. Caught and moving forward just a little bit.
Ryan New.
I thought it was a 9. It's an 8-3.
Yeah.
So New catches it.
Ryan New, sophomore. Talk about another young man that has a lot of poise and does not act like a sophomore.
6'1", 162 at wide receiver. With Fugate not in tonight, he has a chance. Brown is lined up on this near side. He's got man coverage down here. Lombardi sends New in motion. High snap again. They give it to New. The edge is not sealed. And that was all Ethan Rose, number 24, the 6', 178-pound senior. He blew that play up first.
Yes, they certainly were able to seal the edge defensively. And Ryan New, he's got very good speed. But if you don't have anywhere to go, it doesn't matter how fast you are.
And the Tigers are going to have to punt the football again. This is absolutely going to be crucial to get a good punt here out of Cole Peterson. Cole gets his leg into it. It's high. The distance, it goes out of bounds at about the 46.
And the official making that dreadful walk up the sideline to get the official mark. So set at the 42-yard line.
So Waukee will have it. Again, almost the exact same spot they were on the last series. That one started at the 45. This one starts at the 42. Waukee has fumbled it on both possessions on turnovers. What can they do on this third drive? Randall gives it to his running back, which is not Perry, and still on his feet running like he's Perry, is Blake Esplund. Esplund's been running the jet a lot, and Blake just picked up 12 yards.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the Waukee coaches before the game, and they were talking about the combination they have with Esplund and Perry, and it's a pretty good dual threat.
And Esplund is there. Perry is out right now. That could just all be part of the plan on a series rotation. Keep those guys fresh.
That's right.
Because when you got fresh legs, you can do a lot of damage. Slide motion. They go Esplund, and he is tied up underneath. Big number, 98, Jacob McCudden on the tackle. Loss of 3 inches.
That's good eyesight.
I do what I can. The binoculars help. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 29, 3.5 minutes to play. No score between these two. Kind of thought we'd see a low-scoring one, and so far, we're holding serve on that. Randall turns around, fakes it, rolls, tucks, and now runs. Escapes 1 Tiger, 2 Tigers. Finally brought down by Joel Wellman.
I don't know that I've seen a quarterback at any age in high school football run to the hole and get skinny like that. They always talk about running backs. When you get there, you got to get skinny, get through there. He almost disappeared and then came out the other end.
Inside to the 18-yard line. They're in the red zone. Again, handoff Esplund. Sees a seam. He gets a good 3 to 5 on that sprint ahead before he's tackled. Coming up to make the stop is Jake Snyder.
Paul, you talk about trying to keep fresh legs. Valley is now rotating their defensive line. As Coach Swenson was talking about, they have 7 guys that they've been trying to rotate in and out of there defensively.
They're going to need them tonight because they have been on the field for a lot of this first quarter. Randall at quarterback, option left, goes Esplund. He gets around the edge, and he's going to be driven out near the stick. Initially coming up was Noah Samples. Some of the hometown fans wanted a hold out there.
That may have been one of the best blocks I've seen by a fullback. Brandon Tessaw was into the defensive player for Valley and just drove him to the sideline.
Oh, they're going to injury. Oh, we're going to take an injury here. Down on the field for the Tigers is Adrian Guzman. And Guzman is not even, it would help if I would look at the actual defensive side of the ball.
That's right.
He's listed as a backup defensive end, 5'10", 209-pound senior. And he is up. It was warm yesterday, much cooler today, but it still is only September 1st, Keith.
That's right. It's pretty amazing football weather for this time of the year.
We will, as he's being attended to, we'll step away for just a quick break right here. This is CISN.TV.
Work, play, and everything in between. Stay cool with Carhartt from G&L Clothing. High-performance jackets, tees, and shorts. Whatever you do, you'll be more comfortable in Carhartt. Find it all at the Carhartt store inside G&L Clothing.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Summer Drive event featuring the Power Price. If it's not the Power Price, it's not the lowest price. New 17 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition 4x4. Power Price. $269 per month lease. Only $19.99 down, includes all fees. Power priced 17 Silverado Crew LT 4x4s. $35,290. That's $13,000 off. Power priced 17 Cruise LTs. $16,890. 17 Malibu LTs. $20,390. 18 Equinox LTs. $23,990. Hurry in for best selection. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet.
Back at Valley Stadium, Paul Yeager and Keith Bornes and Adrian Guzman taken off the field with the assistants, and he is putting no weight on that right foot at all, Keith.
Yeah, and we, as you were saying, you know, we don't know if it's a knee or an ankle or what it is, but
play action. Randall goes over the top, tight end, wide open, end zone, touchdown, Waukee. Complete to Jake Morrison. He was all by himself. He called his mother before he caught that.
and it was one of those things where we were talking earlier, Paul, about what is Waukee going to do on this series. They've been down into the red zone or near the red zone twice, fumbled it away, and now they got to finish on this one.
It works. On to attempt the extra point for Waukee is Ben Lang. He gets it up, and it's good. 7-0 Waukee. We're back after this on CISN TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
A 6-play, 42-yard drive for Waukee ends in a 9-yard touchdown pass from Randall to Jake Morrison. 7-0 Waukee as the extra point is up and good for the Warriors at the 2:19 mark. They strike first in this contest here on CISN.TV. Paul Yeager and Keith Bornes and the crew here. Valley Stadium short kick gets in behind, and it's taken at the 33, and still on his feet and still rolling downward is Carson Shelton. I don't think he expected that ball to come.
Well, no, and it's one of those deals where in special teams, you have a chance to go ahead and change your field possession a little bit. On turnovers, you're basically going to have the ball where you get it, where you start. But in this case, do you kick it deep to a Mason, a Brown? Not a bad play there.
Well, so far, Valley hasn't shown much offense, so you're taking a chance at the field position. Game's not going to burn you. Mason gets it right side, trying to get to the outside, but man, they've sealed him tight. Mason still dancing. Finally gets across midfield to the 49.
That might be enough for a first down.
It might just be.
Regardless, it was impressive. Coach Swenson said that Mason did a lot last week, and it was all on his own. And as we were talking before, It was, he's setting up his blocks, and he's almost got one of those Walter Payton steps that he's using this year.
I think anybody, if they get him called Walter Payton something, they'll take it. Couple of backs next to Lombardi in the backfield. Handoff Mason underneath. Dodges out, and he is not going to be able to escape Jake Morrison. I think we've just said his name.
Just a little bit. Certainly getting some playing time on both sides of the ball. And a big lad.
Yeah, Morrison, 6'3", 205, lots of speed. As Coach Carlson told me, hard to block. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate right now.
Good description.
It'll be 2nd and 13 from the 48. Mason next to Lombardi in the backfield. We're going to pass. Throw it right side and nowhere close to Brown. Over his head, incomplete.
Good read by Bo Lombardi to get it out there. Good route. Just a high release. And it wasn't floated. That thing had some smoke on it.
You got to remember, Bo Lombardi did not play quarterback last year, not even at the sophomore level. He was playing tight end, and that's hard to do when you don't play that position for a year, when you're a gifted athlete, and we know he's a gifted athlete. It's just a matter of you got to get those reads and the touch, and it's a lot different than it is in practice. Bo on the screen, gets it to Mason, caught, 50, 45, and then he's drilled down.
As open as he was when he got the ball, that gap closed quickly.
Nathan McDonald and Trey Hardy made the stop. Ball gets up to the 44, but not enough. Got about 10 on that, but the problem was you'd lost 4 on that first down play. So Valley is going to punt again as the clock winds down here on the first quarter. Punt comes in and goes away for Cole Peterson. It's going to bounce, and it could be downed if it's a hustling Tigers, and they are. Downing it at the 3-yard line is Connor Shelton. Great special teams play there.
I believe it's a third of the game, Paul, at special teams. And if there's one thing that both of these squads are going to do, it's going to practice all 3 components. And what a great placement of the punt and downfield coverage by Connor Shelton.
4-play drive ends in a punt on play number 5. So now Waukee facing 1st and 10, but they got a long way to go. Ball sits on the 3. Their worst starting field position.
And the ball went down.
Ball came out. That'll make your heart jump.
Yes.
Waukee has it. Randall gets it. And that'll probably be the last play of the quarter.
You know, it's plays like that kind of give you an adrenaline spike. And you get too many of those, you're trying to figure out where all your energy went.
We've played 1 quarter. Waukee 7, Valley nothing from Valley Stadium. This is CISN.TV. Quarter number 2 coming your way.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2 and 3 bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of offense, Keith. We've seen 1 touchdown pass. That was a 9-yarder to Jake Morrison. The Waukee defense, the story of this game so far.
And what is very beneficial to Waukee, their defense hasn't been on the field all that long.
Oh, hardly at all. Almost about 10 plays. After the fumble, Perry is sacked in the end zone. That's going to be a safety. I didn't even think Randall was going to get rid of it. That's why I said sack, the safety. And that's, I guess, your defense can help you, and that's gets Valley on the board.
Yeah, that's right. Valley put together a great bit of pressure there. Coach Rebarger dialing up the safety blitz, and it worked.
That was a slow developing play that you would run pretty much anywhere but inside your own 10.
Yes.
But Perry's had such success, and your blocking has done so well. But that's also a risk that Valley took on that play, Keith, because they were coming for it all. They were smelling
Yes.
blood in the water, and they come for, they're coming hard after that one. You do a play action right there, we're talking about a Waukee touchdown right now.
That's right. When you sell out, you have to have a great guess as to what's coming, or it could bite you just the same as you were saying.
Bite you. Yeah, you can't say where. This is a family show. 7-2 as we move to the 5th inning. We'll have the bottom of the order due up for the Indians. You want to do a different game? No?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's almost October.
It is. It is almost. Call-ups. Big call-ups in Major League Baseball. See what Waukee dials up here as they tee it up at the 20. They kicked it short the last time. If you do that, you're giving Valley an incredible opportunity, so I would think.
I think it'd be more of a mid-range kick.
The kick is a nice one.
Yeah, he
from
wound up on that.
Langston Samples, and it's fumbled at the 30, picked up by Mason. 35-40, 45, he's got some daylight. 50, 45, 40, still on his feet after a spin before he's brought down. That was a nice play there by Cole Romdel. And I gotta correct my kicker there.
Yeah.
That was Ben Lang. Sorry.
Trying to figure out what that Laundry is doing on the 45-yard line, and away from the play.
Well, that was about where Mason made one of those cuts, and maybe he had a little help in that cut. That's usually in that area.
You know, we talk about special teams being a third of the game. It can really help change field possession and momentum. And that was a potential momentum shift that didn't happen. You know, the play ended down about the 40-yard line of Waukee. Now it's back at the 35 of Valley. That's a 25-yard penalty.
And you would have started. That ball went down to about the 35.
Was it 35?
Somewhere in there.
So now it's a 30-yard penalty.
Yeah. All the way back to the 35. So a long way to go for this Tiger offense. It's been trying to find something. Little mistiming. They give it to Mason, who does the counter. He sees something on the side, gets those legs up, loses the football, but he's out of bounds. Not until he gets to the 48. Good stop. Owen Minshall comes up.
Paul, can I tell you about one of the best plays I saw last week? It was a play made by Coach Cochran. Javon Mason was hit out of bounds on our sideline, and it was far enough that Javon wanted to say something about it, and Coach Cochran was able, it was kind of a one-legged grab him up, spin around move that kept everybody happy.
Play clock down to 8. Lombardi's going to have to go under center. Handoff Mason, who's hit high and low. One tackler is Zach Eaton, and the other one is Nathan McDonald. Tell you what, this Waukee defense is fast.
They are fast. They have moved well. They have not got caught up in traffic. They're throwing all kinds of fits at the Valley offensive line.
Ball at the 49, 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. On the left side of your fumble. Bad snap. Lombardi's just going to fall on it back at the 40-yard line. So we've seen for the Tigers one snap go over their head, a second nearly go over their head, a snap at his shoelaces.
A couple of high snaps on punts.
Yeah. So Bo's going to get credit for a loss of 11 on that play. He's going to have about negative 45 yards right now rushing because he was sacked a couple of times.
And, Paul, you might be giving him a gift.
If saying
at
it's
just
negative 45? Yeah, I'll have to check the Waukee stat crew is down here. Might have to ask them. 3rd and 18. Clock is stopped at the 10:33 mark. Waukee in the lead, 7-0. Valley trying to get a fresh set of downs. It has been an uphill climb for Valley. Man in motion. Gets past Lombardi. They give it to Mason. He cuts through the middle, and he is just going to go nowhere. There is a penalty flag back near the line of scrimmage. Max Tweeten the stop for Waukee.
Number 54 for the Tigers is in at center. He is a sophomore, Zach Shaner.
And there's another sophomore on that lineup, Carter Lawrence.
Yes, standing side by side.
And Lawrence is the one who's whistled for the hold. So Waukee will take the play, decline the penalty. It was only a gain of about 6. So the ball goes up to the 45.
And remember, Paul, at one time, Valley could have been at the Waukee 35.
That's right. That's right. Now they can't even get the punter or the return man for Waukee, which is Tyrese Moore. He's at the 15. He's not that far from where that play should have been. Blocked. Blocked by Waukee. And Waukee is going to pick it up at the 50. Nolan Rothler. And I think it might have been Ethan Rose that got his hand on that one.
The one thing that has kind of been brewing in this whole special teams thing for Waukee's punt return, they have been sending 2 guys right into the heart of the personal protectors. That time they only sent 1. But each time they have been making ground and making ground. It's almost like they feel that we're having a problem or time issue getting the punt off.
Smelling blood in the water, possibly. Play action. Randall's going to pump near, go far, and just stuff the fingertips of Tyrese Moore. And if that ball is maybe an inch and a half shorter, that's a gain of 35 yards.
Yes, he sets up the play action pass very well. Your running backs are hitting the holes very hard. It's going to freeze your linebackers, which means you're going to have to go to an alternate read as to whether it's a pass play or not. So, yeah, Valley's defense has its work cut out for themselves, but Valley's offense, that's another story altogether.
Valley defense is just trying to find their breath. Esplin goes in motion. They give to Perry, who's back into the game, and he is met at midfield. Right there in the middle is Logan Castle. 6'1", 255-pound defensive tackle, says hello and welcome to West Des Moines.
That was a good surge by the defensive line of Valley. You know, most defensive teams are a gap-controlled defense, and so even if you're going to get some type of a stunt or a push upfield, they're still maintaining their gaps.
Sometimes on defense, just staying home is doing enough to disrupt the play. Play action, Randall keeps it and goes up the middle. He had a seam for a moment,
Ooh.
And he is caught by the shoestring.
He is an impressive athlete. You know, both Coach Carlson talked about it, Coach Swenson talked about it, Jeff Crawford terrified by him, and with good reason. But did he come up with a little bit of a limp?
Now that I didn't see. I was looking at Bonacci, who made the play. Waukee's going to punt the ball here.
Apparent punt.
Line up to punt the ball in punt formation. Good kick by Owen Minshall, and it's going to be fair catch made. Fair catch by the Tigers, Ryan New. And so now the Valley offense again trying to find some type of momentum.
And it's not like Valley has not had some opportunities. They've had plenty of offensive series here. They're just sputtering out.
In our other game here on the network, Johnston leads Southeast Polk 6-3. So lots of scoring at that new stadium. I guess that didn't allow. They're conserving points for other games.
Well, maybe they're just looking at the stadium and forgetting to play.
That's true. Ball's at the Valley 14. Tigers in shotgun. They go Mason counter, and Mason doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Big number 90 for Waukee, Jacob Porter. And also in there is Cade Montgomery. Loss of 3 for Mason. I'll tell you what, they're going to have to find something else than Javon Mason.
Or get him some help.
Second and long. Lombardi, high snap, gives it to Mason up again. Javon goes in the middle, ducks it out, and if he could have just broken that one tackle, great open field tackle by Owen Minshall.
That was a great job by Minshall getting up there because Mason had a lot of room to go after that. Instead, he loses a couple more yards.
Another loss of 3. Actually, they're going to say it's only 2, so it's 3rd and 15. It's been a lot of 3rd and forevers, Keith.
There have been. I'm not so sure you don't maybe even see a potential of a quick kick.
Lombardi drops back to throw, and it's complete and still going. And I tell you, it took a hit in the process. Jalen Long gets up to the 19, well short of the first down. However, got some big old breathing room for the punting situation. But
Yes.
that is a positive.
That is. Instead of punting out of your end zone, you're punting at the 5.
Well, I guess if you would allow a safety, it would just kind of even things up.
I don't think that's in the game plan for either side.
Oh, okay.
But watch the surge that Waukee has gotten on the inside there.
Another high punt, and somehow getting it back and then taking the turn. No, he called fair catch. Boy, for a minute I thought Tyrese Moore was just going to walk into the end zone.
Well, yeah. And I think for a moment he wanted to.
Then I think he realized, oh, yeah. So Waukee will again start in Tiger territory. Ball is at the Valley 47-yard line. Here at the 6:04 mark, second quarter. Waukee looking to add to it. Randall's going to hold it, run it, and get not much more than to the line of scrimmage. And last one off the pile. Jacob McCudden. I got to tell you what, Keith. I like the new uniforms and look. The numbers bunch up.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time 6 or 8. I'm like, there is no 96 on the defense.
You know, that play that Waukee just ran, Randall just going down the side. It looks like it's going to be a sweep all the way, quarterback sweep. He can still pull up and hit a quick shot throwing the ball off that.
And Esplin goes, and he goes right into the teeth of the defense. And that is Logan Krausman, I think. 88?
Logan Kruzman.
Kruzman.
Right. Kruzman was one of those individuals that, as a sophomore, got pulled up. Well, as a freshman, got pulled up to the sophomore team, and as a sophomore, got pulled up for the varsity. And now, as a junior, is doing a very nice job.
Esplin's behind Randall in the shotgun. Fake it, going deep. Randall throws. Wide open, his receiver fell down.
They're going to chalk that up to incidentals.
And they're going to say he fell down and not helped down. Intended receiver, Zach Eaton, looked at that back judge and didn't get any help. Wow, you can hear the discord all the way over here.
Yeah.
Maybe they were saying ooh because of the board. I think that's maybe what they were saying.
Yes. There usually aren't official calls that are up for dispute.
New and Brown go back deep for the Tigers on the return, and to punt is Owen Minchell. Stands inside his 40, takes a couple of steps, gets a nice punt away. Fair caught by New at the 17.
Paul, let me ask you a question.
Hey, you know what, Keith? Why don't you ask me a question?
Let's say you're a sophomore. You're in a big game. You're the punt return guy. High punt. The punt team, Waukee, coming down. And we've already established how fast their team is. And you decide you're going to call a fair catch. Do you still have the confidence to just stand under there and wait for the ball, make a catch? It's pretty impressive by any punt returner to do it, but Ryan New as a sophomore?
Sacrifice your body for 15 yards, which would be the unsportsmanlike if they hit you. Lombardi throws out the far side to Brown. Tariq tried reaching up a little bit further. He got maybe 7 on that play. That's his first catch.
And one of the times that so far that Valley's been ahead of the chains.
There's not been many 2nd and 2s, I can tell you that.
That's right.
Coming up at halftime, we'll talk with Brad Rose, the activities director at Valley. Lombardi gives to Mason. Mason around that far sideline is close to the first down. Ethan Rose sends him out of bounds. Move the chains, and that is enough for a first down in only 2 plays.
I don't know what it is, but still every time Mason touches the ball, I kind of slide a little bit ahead in my seat just to see to think about what the potential really is. He is still a weapon.
He's just trying to find daylight. That Waukee defense been hard to run on. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Jalen Long, the intended receiver, he had no chance on that one. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. 4:16. Clock stop. Waukee 7, Valley 2. A safety for the Tigers back in the first quarter. No, that was to start the second quarter. That's right.
Yeah.
Because we walked from the north end zone to the south end zone.
So all scoring in the south end zone.
That's right. In motion go the Tigers. They go underneath to Javon. He puts his head down because Ethan Rose was there to make the tackle. Gain of 4. And the clock struck 4 minutes.
Creighton Mitchell, sophomore, number 9, is the W back that went in motion.
Haven't seen much of Mitchell. Lombardi is fighting for his life because the blitz was coming, and it gets there. Jake Morrison. That was an all-out blitz. Everybody was coming. And Valley had gone under center for that play and not in the shotgun, and Lombardi just couldn't escape.
No. If it comes down to a track meet, yes, Valley did have a state title in track, but Waukee was the favorite going in. We know the speed that they have overall, and Bo Lombardi, he got eaten up quick.
The punt is away, taken at the 45 by Tyrese Moore, and he gets no more than a yard. And slow to get up is his tackler, is John Shaner.
Well, John Shaner was in on it, and Carson Shelton was in on that as well. Great punt coverage. Open field tackle there.
Waukee has to start on their side of the field. I don't know if they've got any offensive plays for that, but they'll try. 1st and 10, under 3 minutes to play, second quarter. Randall and his fullback, Brandon Tessau, in the backfield. In motion is Esplin. They're going to run to the other side and then cut it back underneath. And Randall escapes one, but not two. And I'll tell you, giving chase the entire time was Jake Snyder.
Yes. A nice job by those linebackers flowing and scraping toward the sideline, mimicking what they're seeing up front and just scraping over the top to make that tackle. But one thing I noticed about Randall as he came up, he kind of gave a, hey, nice tackle as he returned the ball to the official.
I've heard that term scrape, and boy, the memory just pull that one deep from football practice. You're going to have to explain scrape here in a moment. Randall, Esplin in motion. They fake and go with Perry, and Perry is going to be tackled while he was engaged with a lineman. Making the stop is Logan Krausman, and he was being blocked. He made that tackle even with a blocker on him.
Blake Sherman was moving people downfield and ended up with a pancake block about 4 yards downfield.
Waukee inside Tiger territory, 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Need to get to the 43-yard line on the north side of it. Randall has Perry next to him in the backfield. Rolling out to throw, buying time. Looking deep, throws off his back foot down the sideline. Too far of a lead for Tyrese Moore. It'll be incomplete, and Waukee has to probably think about punting here.
That really was a great defensive play by the Valley defensive backs. They ended up having a switch call as the wide receivers really kind of did an X route. At first, the Waukee receiver looked like he was wide open, but the corner was able to pick him up, leaving the wide guy going into the safety. They just switched responsibilities and had good coverage.
Coming in to make the punt for Waukee. Again, this is the 3rd time they've punted here in just their last 3 possessions. Owen Minshall, timeout on the field. We'll step away. The final 1:25 when we come back here on CISN.TV.
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
The sophomore, Ryan New, takes the punt.
And no fair catch on that one. So he knew he was going to be fair game. One of the things about Ryan New last year, Paul, he was our kickoff return guy, our punt return guy. And we don't keep stats on kick return yards at all. But after the first game, we kind of went back and watched the film and looked a little bit as to what he had done. And then we started saying, oh, let's keep track of return yards. He had over 900 return yards for us.
Well, that'll get your attention. He's just got to get some confidence here. Lombardi. Long way to go. Throws it near side, and it's too far for Ryan New. Incomplete.
And very good coverage. I mean, you had to throw it where the defense wasn't, and, well, the defense was right on top of him. So you have to give your receiver a chance to dive and try and make a play, and it was just too far.
7-2 with 1:10 to play here before half. Two receivers near, Long and New. Brown and Mitchell to the far side. They're going near. Caught by Long at the 32. He gets out of bounds near the 34. And if he is at the 35, it's a first down, and it is a gain of 11.
Very nice job. And you might be asking yourself, well, where were these plays before? But you have to remember what kind of a defense Waukee is playing now. They're just playing a prevent defense. They've got their corners and safeties backed up way off. They're giving the 5 yards, trying to make sure that the 50 doesn't happen.
Trying to survive the death by paper cuts. Lombardi's hit as he throws. Tipped. Incomplete. Pressure coming in on the underneath side would be Cade Montgomery and Jake Morrison. Incomplete. Stops the clock. 59.4 seconds to play.
Creighton Mitchell was coming across the middle on that. Nathan McDonald kind of greeted him and got him to the ground. People might ask, why was there not a flag thrown there? Well, it was a tipped ball. And so it kind of made people fair game.
Mason takes it on the counter. He's still running. He's going to be short of the first down. Officials look to Coach Swenson to see if he wants to call timeout, and he doesn't. Because now he's trying to run some clock. If I'm Waukee, I'm calling timeout here maybe. But Coach Carlson's going to let him play. Gain of 7 on that. Lombardi throws near side. Caught at midfield.
And now the timeout comes.
Well, stop of the clock because of the first down.
But he called the timeout as well.
But he did call the timeout.
Jalen Long doing a great job on these quick little 5-yard pass plays. He had to go up for the ball on that, which is a scary thing to do because as you're reaching up for the ball, you kind of expose your midsection. Opens you up for a pretty good hit. Paul, guess what happened today?
Yeah, you had a couple of things today. I'm supposed to let you talk about that.
A little bit. So today, a couple of schools from the West Des Moines district and a couple of schools from the Waukee district were down at the Hy-Vee Hall and working on meals from the Heartland. And between the two districts and some other volunteers that came in today, over 1 million meals were created and packaged up.
It's incredible. That is a great life experience for
Absolute-
those schools.
Absolutely.
First down, Lombardi throws. Caught by New. Somehow pulled that thing away from Hunter Deskin. First down, or 8-yard gain there on first down.
That was a veteran catch and against a veteran defensive back.
Second and short, 22 seconds to play. If you're Valley, you're thinking 6 the whole way here because you don't have Cole Hahn kicking your field goals anymore. Going for the out and up. Lombardi's got pressure, throws, gets it away to Long, who's popped at the 30, holds on to it long enough. Nolan Rothler delivered a shot, but it's inside the 30. First down, stop the clock, move the chains. Valley still with life here at 15.4 seconds.
Yeah, a big, big-time hit. One of the things that you have to be careful about that as a defensive back is you get the a hit like that, and you don't wrap up, you can sometimes be called for targeting.
Or the offensive player can pop off, and if he's got enough wits on of him, and then there's no help around, you might just pop him into freedom, and he's still running, and you're watching him score a touchdown.
That's right.
So you also had another event you had to go to today.
We did. Unfortunately, the Valley community lost a great man. Jim Faree lost his battle with cancer, and the funeral was today, and they had a wonderful celebration of life. Following that, Jim, we love you. We're going to miss you. And, Betty, please remember that the whole Valley community is here for you. She's a longtime teacher at Valley High School, and she's now doing some substitute teaching. They were just a remarkable couple, and Betty's still a tremendous person. So we look forward to helping her down the road if she needs anything.
Lombardi on first down throws downfield to a receiver. Caught!
What a
Touchdown! Tariq Brown from 30 yards out. Wow!
A momentum shift. Now, the tough thing about it is, yes, you got a momentum shift right there on a huge play, but now we got to wait for a 25-minute halftime. The question is, can you maintain it?
Well, you just moved in that drive more yards than you had on all the other drives combined. This drive started back at the 24-yard line, a 76-yard drive that ends in a 30-yard touchdown pass from Lombardi to Brown. The extra point is good, and Valley has a 9-7 lead. We'll step away the final 9 seconds when we come back right after this.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
33-yard return there. Oh, just about broke it.
Yeah. that could have
3.2 seconds.
been another big momentum change.
And we're back here on CISN.TV. Paul Yeager, Keith Bornes. And we'll have the Battle of the Athletic Directors, Activities Directors coming up at halftime. Jim Dewey from Waukee will go second, and Brad Rosa goes first. And we'll tell you why Brad's going first, because we have some events going on here at halftime at Valley Stadium, and he'll tell us all about them. Right now, it's Valley with their first lead of the game, 9-7, and Waukee is going to just kneel it and go into the locker room down by 2.
Hey, that reminds me of something that my grandpa once said 100 years ago. Waukee just takes a knee here. And he said the secret to having a successful life or being successful is when the rest of the world walks, you run. When the rest of the world runs, you walk. Valley had a little momentum there. Waukee just takes a knee and said, yeah, go ahead and try and hold that momentum for the next 25 minutes. We'll come out again and try from brand new.
Not only can he talk football, he's the great philosopher, Keith Bornes. We're back after this with our halftime show. Valley leads Waukee 9-7.
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields. Here's to...
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow,
Work, play, and everything in between. Stay cool with Carhartt from G&L Clothing. High-performance jackets, tees, and shorts. Whatever you do, you'll be more comfortable in Carhartt. Find it all at the Carhartt store inside G&L Clothing.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I...
Back here at halftime with Activities Director Brad Rose. Good to see you, Brad. Busy night as always. Home opener. You got all sorts of stuff running around. We're going to let the March Masters play, but then you have to go back down to the field for what?
Well, we had a great year last year. 2 years ago, we finished second to Waukee in the All Sports Trophy by about a half point. Two great schools going at it again tonight. This last year, we set a record for most points, and we won the All Sports Trophy by about 15 or 20 points over Iowa City West. In fact, all three teams or schools scored more points than last year, but we just had a tremendous year. 3 state titles and 3 second places, and 15 teams scoring points. So it's we're gonna introduce all those kids and all those programs and just kind of do a little celebrating. That's what you're supposed to do when you do something really well like that.
You've got the defending girls state basketball championship, and you took that from Waukee, which had been at the year before. And so whoever wins girls basketball must win that title.
Yeah, they beat us the year before. So yeah, this is more than football right now. It's just we have a tremendous amount of respect, and their AD, who you'll see a little later, Jim Dewey and I are good friends, and it's just nice to. It's a good measuring stick. Every sport we play them in, it kind of lets us know where we're at.
So, and they have, I won't call it an arms race necessarily, but you both have incredible facilities for football, and you've just upped the ante here. This stadium built in 2003. Now you've got the video board on that south end. You were trying to get it last season, just didn't quite work out. How's that adding, and how is that adding another layer of work for you and the experience here at the game?
It brings a tremendous amount of opportunity for us to highlight our kids. You've seen some of the videos. We're learning as we go here. Your group, this group, as well as other groups have helped us put together some highlight videos. We got to highlight the band, the cheerleaders, all of our activities. We hope to involve students in producing some stuff, like some highlights, like what's happening this week. We had an interview with Coach Swenson on the game of the week. What do you think of this game? Just try to add more fan-friendly, but that costs money too, and it takes a few $1,000s to have those videos produced. But I think it just adds to the whole entertainment tonight. That's what sports are. They're entertaining, and we want to be good hosts and those kind of things too. But it's been tremendous. We're going to dedicate the Brandon Ellingson scoreboard at homecoming when we play Johnston. We put together a nice video of Brandon's highlights and interviewed the coaches and his father, and it'll be a nice thing on homecoming night. And I really think people will enjoy it. And then it's just, we don't know what we have yet. I mean, it's really nice, it's clear, but we're just starting to, the replay, the live feeds, I know people really enjoy that. And when March Masters hosts their Valley Fest, they're going to be able to put some things up there too. So I'm looking forward to it.
And, that's the thing about your facility here. I mean, this press box here where we work out, it's not just for football. The Menace play here, and then all the marching band stuff that happens. You've got to have, you've got judges that set up. It's not just radio and TV. So you had some vision there when you set this all up. I know that was done before your time, but at least to ensure it, and you didn't alter it in any way. It's just really added to that first-class experience here.
Thank you. Our this was through private donations, and then the athletic department's paying for this. But our board, school board in our district has helped I've tried to have a vision for everything we do, and they've really supported us. We've improved. This is my start of my 9th year. Every single year I've been here, we've improved some type of facility. I know we do a lot of elementary schools, but they forget the PAC, new tennis courts, new weight room, new wrestling room, new track that we have now, track and at Tiger Field. All those things. I mean, it just really, now it's not gaudy. It's just nice, nice areas for us to participate.
And your area there at Tiger Field, that is where the varsity practices now for
Correct.
football. They don't have to leave and get in the cars, and they can get to practice earlier. That's where Coach Swenson said, hey, this is where I office out of. It's just a lot easier for everybody.
It's a training facility. It's really helped our track program, and I think it's our weight room being right there. People see it as a training facility, and plus our community can use it too. And so we've had, if you go over there on a Sunday, you see a lot of people enjoying kicking the soccer ball around or running or walking, and that's what it's supposed to be for.
Last thing before we go, next week will be the game against Dowling. It will be here, but you will not be the home team, but you are sitting on the home side. Do I have that right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And it's back. When I was in college, at Simpson College, I'd come back and watch Joe Kavanaugh play back here in the late 80s, and we would come back and root on Jim Kavanaugh and Joe Kavanaugh, give them a shout out. And they played at the old stadium, and that's the way it was. They shared the stadium, and we're allowing Dowling couldn't get Drake Stadium, so they would have had to play on Thursday night or Saturday. They asked could they play it here and just keep it the same Friday night. We said fine, we'll just go like normal. We'll sit on our side, they'll sit on their side, and we'll have a heck of a football game.
It will be, and seating will be a premium for sure. So, all right, I'll let you go because I know you've got the other stuff happening down on the field. And Brad Rose, Activities Director here at Valley. Thank you so much, Brad. We're back with Jim Dewey from Waukee right after this.
Thank you.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Summer Drive event featuring the Power Price. If it's not the Power Price, it's not the lowest price. New 17 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition 4x4. Power Price. $269 per month lease. $19.99 down includes all fees. Power priced 17 Silverado Crew LT 4x4s. $35,290. That's $13,000 off. Power priced 17 Cruise LTs. $16,890. 17 Malibu LTs. $20,390. 18 Equinox LTs. $23,990. Hurry in for best selection. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
Welcome back to halftime. It is Valley 9, Waukee 7, and we're joined now with the Activities Director at Waukee, Jim Dewey. Jim, good to see you again.
Glad to be here.
These road trips are really tough for you when it's all of, 4 miles?
Yeah. By the time we got all packed up and got in the car and drove over here, I think it took 10 minutes. So.
Good first half. Mitch Randall, Keith and I just very impressed with Randall's poise. And Coach Carlson, it was... You could tell he feels that this kid's got a huge upside.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really good player for us. Obviously, you step into a good program like ours and start as a sophomore, you probably are pretty good. And he's still making some first-year mistakes, but we're pleased with his progress from last week to this week.
Great defensive line. They're moving around the ball well. Really frustrated up until that last drive. I don't think Valley had positive offensive yards.
Yeah, I was really impressed with our defense last week, and for 28 minutes we were pretty good in that first half. But no, that's one of our strengths, I think, and I think we possibly left some points on the field earlier on drives that we possibly could have scored on, but we're not in a bad place. 9-7 on the road, and with a second half to come.
Last week you have your home opener. You go back. Your stadium is changing too. There's this rumor going around about a new video board.
Yeah, we will have a new video board. We're hoping that it would be in for the opener. We were hoping it was going to be in for the Dowling game in 2 weeks, and we've kind of gotten word that we're hoping for homecoming now, which will be on September 29th, and we're excited what the possibilities that's going to bring to us. We've had a video board since the 2007 football season. I think we were the first ones to get one, and I think it's really enhanced the atmosphere at our stadium, and this actually will be our third board. We went one size up about 4 years after we got the first one, and now we just realized when we had the video board put in the field house inside, just what you can do with it if it's the right size, and ours wasn't big enough for what we wanted to do, and so we're fortunate to have some great community supporters, business support in our area, and hopefully it'll be up on September 29th.
And then you just got to sort it out how you're going to split that thing when you go north and south or east and west or whatever it is when that ever happens.
There are our plans for our new high school. The initial plans came out this week, and they're up on our website. And there is a stadium in the plans. Not sure if the money will be there to begin with. So yeah, when we open that second school, we probably will have both of our schools playing at the same stadium.
So you'll do the Waukee thing, not the Ankeny thing. Ankeny's right now playing at the same stadium for both Centennial and Ankeny. Right now would be two facilities.
Ideally, that's what we would like to do. Just have two.
And your gymnasium, field house, whatever you want to call it, an incredible spot. I came over for the, I think it was Van Meter girls basketball. They played in the regional final to go to state, and that thing was full. That was a great night right there, and that's a great gym to have that.
Sometimes, unless it's a Valley Waukee or a Valley Dowling, Valley, Ankeny Centennial, you don't have that kind of atmosphere on every night that you had at that Van Meter game. It was really exciting, and those communities were really supportive. I think it might have been Panorama, might have been the other team that night.
I think so. That does sound right.
Yeah, it's exciting, and when we have a big crowd, it's a great place to play. It's a great place to play anytime, but it is special when it's full.
Yeah, and so you've got that you're dealing with. There's always stuff happening in your community, and we're also glad to have our game streamed on CISN.TV. Always been very supportive of us. Always thank you for making room for us to be able to do these games.
You bet. You guys do a great job supporting high school athletics, and we're very fortunate to partner with you. It helps the broadcast reach fans that can't come to the games, that are that grandparent set that might be over in Illinois or somewhere around the United States can now watch their grandson, or it's been good. I don't know how many. Is it 3 years? Is this year 3 now?
For maybe you, I think we've been doing games here about 6-7 years.
Yeah, I think it might be year 3 or 4 at our place, and like I said, we're happy to have you.
And we're working in other sports. We've tried some wrestling, we've done some basketball, but let's, before I forget, talk about your fall sports, your cross country and golf and volleyball.
I was just talking to Coach Bornas. Him being a track coach, we were talking a little bit about our cross country teams. We had a meet last night up at Ames, and our boys won that meet. It was a large meet, very competitive meet, and our boys did a nice job winning. And our girls were in a three-way battle with Cedar Falls and Ankeny Centennial. All three of us ranked in the top 7. So it was a great night last night. Both of our cross country teams are good. Our girls swim team, I saw the first set of power ratings came out, and I think we're ranked 3rd there, and they're coming off a 3rd place finish last year at state. So hopefully they'll continue to compete at that level. Our boys golfers were the state runner-ups a year ago. Lost several golfers, but we've been very competitive so far. And I know they have some rankings, and I know we're in the top 10. I just don't know where in that.
You don't have that written on your hand somewhere?
I
popped you off that, sorry.
And then our volleyball team, we're really excited where our volleyball program is headed under first-year head coach Molly Turk. In fact, we moved into the rankings for the first time in a number of years under her leadership, and we're excited to see where that team's going to be this year.
All right, sounds good. I'll let you get back to that second half. Appreciate you coming up here, and good to see you.
Well, I was worried we wouldn't have anything to talk about because with Rose going first, he talks so much. I figured he'd talk about everything. But
There's not much air left, right?
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
what you're saying?
Yep.
When his time is limited, he's really focused.
Well, I noticed that you had him on first. Otherwise, he might still be talking when the second half starts.
He would do it. He has filled in for Keith a couple of times, and he has no problem. I think he doesn't even need me here sometimes. So, all right, thank you, Jim. That's
All
Jim
right.
Dewey, Activities Director at Waukee. We're back second half right after this.
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years. Building a
Every
strong
month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
Welcome back to getting you ready for the second half of the Valley Tigers and the Waukee Warriors. It's Valley 9, Waukee 7, Keith Borness. What are your thoughts on that first half, now that you've had a chance to think about it?
I was not expecting a baseball score, and as of late, there's been a lot of baseball scores that have been up in that 9-10 range. Defenses have played lights out. Waukee's offense, up and down the field, doing a great job between the 20s, but they've only finished once inside the 20. Valley's offense sputtered for, we'll call it 23 minutes. And then in the last minute had, you said a 70-yard drive?
Yes. Started the 24th, so a 76-yard drive.
76-yard drive and ended on a 30-yard touchdown pass with just under 20 seconds to go. So, yeah, the defense is certainly showing that they can play some football. Right now, personnel-wise, I give the first round, if you will, to Waukee just by their line of scrimmage play.
I'm going to try and find a few scores here. Right now, Cedar Falls leads Ames. I think that was, 58-7. That's just at half.
Ooh.
Cedar Falls has been coming on here. They've had a couple of good programs here, or teams the last couple of years. Johnston leads Southeast Polk 13-10. That's at half. And I know earlier Centennial was leading Ankeny 14-0, and that was really early. This is great. Let's watch me be on Twitter.
Johnston 13-10 over Polk now at half.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the winner.
Must have gotten closer, or it's still just 14-0. Because in that one, Dowling was they're at Urbandale tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, since their coaching staff is involved with, coaching, it's hard for them to update their Twitter feed during the game.
I don't understand, Paul.
Well, see, Twitter is one of those things, Keith, that you have to do. You have to do either with your phone or a computer. You can't just yell it, and it shows up on Twitter. I don't know if you're familiar with how the concept
Well,
works.
I don't know. I think I've heard something about it.
Urbandale trails Dowling 26-3 in the third quarter. Well, if we get you on Twitter by the end of the year, I don't know what I would do.
Well, it's going to be a strange deal for me this year anyway. I ended up getting a new phone. I didn't understand I was going to get a new phone. It was a surprise. My wife, she's pretty smooth about things. I needed a new battery for my old phone, and she got me a new phone. She thought the 20-year-old phone wasn't working well. So now I have a new phone. She called it a battery, and I kind of thought it was. Just didn't look right.
Centennial leads Ankeny 14-0 after 3, but it's all Centennial on the offensive side. It's all about the yards in that play for the Battle of the North suburb. This is the battle for the western suburbs, and then you have the battle for Central West, Urbandale and Dowling.
Yeah.
Southeast Polk and Johnson really don't touch. I don't know if you know that or not.
There's a little
Geography-wise.
distance between.
All right, if you're Waukee at halftime, what are you talking about?
I am talking to them about really being able to dominate the line of scrimmage for 23 minutes. They don't have to change anything. They just can't break down. And so they just need to remain consistent the rest of the way through to allow themselves to set up. If I'm Valley at halftime, I got to start reminding the guys, hey, we're a football team. We can move the ball. We have some great skill players. We have good weapons to get them. Offensive line, can you muster up a half a second more?
Hold that block just a little bit more. Well, Valley will get the ball to start. You have the drive, the 76-yard drive that ends in a touchdown on a 30-yard pass from Lombardi to Brown. And Tariq, I think he only had 2 catches in the first half.
Waukee's defense has been doing a great job keeping everybody in check. The most reception so far is by Jalen Long, and that was in one series, moving the ball down the field, just on a couple of 5-yard plays here and there. And that was when Waukee was in their prevent defense. They've done a great job just blanketing people.
Yeah. Waukee, we talked about their speed. I talked about it with Jim there, and they just are a great team up front. And Valley, you're not going to see the same defense that you saw in that final minute 35.
Right.
You're not going to see that prevent style and all that cushion. But you have to think, maybe we do throw the ball a little bit more. Maybe we do 10 yards, 8 yards out.
Well, yes, you're definitely going to have to change that up a little bit and try to hit those 5-yard plays and see what can happen.
The kick is taken by Carson Shelton. A little bit of miscommunication between him and Jalen Long. But the Tigers will take it and start that possession at the 22-yard line.
Jalen Long is a very good runner, good receiver, but you kind of have to wonder, why wasn't Mason out there?
Well, you've seen Brown, you've seen Long. The guy that I haven't seen much, and I'm kind of surprised, is Creighton Mitchell.
We're seeing him now. He just checked into the game.
He's on the field, but you haven't seen him in the backfield. But by golly, he is right now.
That's right. No Mason.
So Creighton Mitchell is next to Lombardi, so we'll see what happens here. Creighton Mitchell gets his first handoff, and I think he wants to go back to the bench as tackle for loss, Jacob Porter.
That kind of started exactly the way Mason's first carry from scrimmage went. And I do spy Javon Mason. He is walking the sideline.
Does he have a helmet on?
I do not see a helmet. It's not even in his hands.
So something might have happened right there. Without our ace reporter on the sideline, we will no longer speculate. Lombardi throws, caught by Brown,
Wow.
up ahead to the 42. Talk about threading the needle.
That had some velocity on it. The vapor trail is just now dissipating as he put that in between 3 defensive backs. Well, defenders.
Yeah. Eating the tackle, gain of 18, first down up to the 41-yard line. That was impressive.
So talk a little bit about maybe calling some offensive plays here, Paul, going to the pass offense.
Well, you've got Mitchell right there. I think you might see more passes, and that's what we're seeing right now. And boy, Jalen Long had a lot of company right there with him from Owen Minshall.
Yeah. Talk about blanketing those receivers again. One of the mistakes that receivers typically make is on that stop route or that hitch route, you don't always make that a direction to move back to the ball as it's being thrown. And when you're just standing there, it does allow the defensive back, the defender, to get up and either knock it down or make an interception.
High snap goes into the hands of Creighton Mitchell. He's going to try to turn that busted play into something. And he does maybe 2 yards up to the 44.
Paul, didn't we see a play like that where Mitchell took the deflected snap and ran 35 yards for a touchdown?
That was when he was unknown, except to
Unknown.
you and the Valley faithful who monitor the message boards. Isn't that what you do?
I am definitely monitoring something.
Now, there are different coaches that have different jobs. There are coaches that monitor the social media of certain things. Who's your get-back coach on the varsity this year? Who's the guy who says you got to get off the sidelines and get behind that white line?
Well, Jeff Crawford has been doing that for many years, so he continues to do that.
Third down, 6 yards to go. Lombardi drops, throws, hit as he throws, and it's going to fall short. Close to an interception is Hunter Deskin. It'll be 4th down, and helping Lombardi to the turf was, I think that was Evan Gray.
I think you're right.
Or Nathan McDonald, 51. I thought it was a 55. It was 51. So back to punt for the first series of the second half is Cole Peterson.
Another high snap.
Gets it in. High kick. Has that carriage to it. Does take a Valley bounce. Keeps going for the sidelines and downing it. On the special teams play is John Shaner. Shaner getting a lot of play tonight.
He is getting a lot of play tonight. You know, John Shaner, very good track athlete as well. He's a sub-50 guy in the 400.
Waukee will start at their own 23. Valley started at their own 22. So similar field positions for these two teams. Ball is on the turf. And Valley says they have it.
And they do.
And they do. Coming up with it. Big number 56, Logan Castle. One play, and it's a fumble. That drive lasted all of 9 seconds.
And may have been a very, very long 9 seconds for Waukee in that. There is nothing worse than coming out of the locker room. You have your first series. You want to try and establish yourself offensively again, and you have a mishap like that. It's a very deflating feeling.
Valley has a short field at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:37 to play. Still Creighton Mitchell in the game. He's about 7 yards behind Lombardi, who's got a receiver to his left and 2 to his right. Handoff Creighton Mitchell. Goes in, now out, tries to keep going. Falls forward to the 20 before he's tackled by Hunter Deskin.
One of the things that Coach Bakey said about Bo Lombardi when he was a sophomore quarterback is that he does a great job of doing pre-snap reads. Both of the Lombardis as quarterbacks did a great job understanding the defense and where you probably should go even before the ball was snapped. And you saw Bo actually turning around and talking to Creighton on that previous play.
Pass quickly out to the flats, and the catch is made by Carson Shelton. Now into the game.
Well, he's been in the game a little bit defensively. He's a linebacker and in now a little bit at fullback.
3rd and 5. Tigers have it at the 20. No, 18. Play clock down to 15. Plenty of time. Trying to get more than a field goal out of this possession. Off the turnover. What can they do for points here on 3rd and 5? Bo looks right, throws. Intercepted! Picked off by Waukee! Nathan Williams stepped in front of that pass. And just like that, crisis averted.
Sure was for Waukee. They did a nice job. Just as quarterbacks come up and make pre-snap reads, your defensive backs and linebackers are always eyeing the quarterback. One of those deals, in that particular case, Bo never looked anybody off. His eyes were right there, and the defense was able to read that.
So both drives for the teams to start the second half end in turnover. Waukee, though, now, they are pinned inside their 5 all the way back to the 3. And they'll start in the shadow of their own goalpost. They go back underneath to Perry. He holds on to it, but
and
then the ball comes out again. I saw 4 black beanbags go down, all indicating fumble. They'll stop the clock to sort it out. Valley says they have it again. And again coming up with the football is Evan Gray. This time it's Evan Gray, not Logan Castle.
That is an 11-yard change of possession on turnovers. Valley comes up with the turnover. They have it on the 20-yard line. They get to the 18. They throw an interception to the 2. End up getting the ball back on a fumble recovery. I don't know that I was expecting that coming out of the locker room.
So now Valley has an even shorter field. 1st and goal from the 8. Oh, 7 now. Initially it had 8 on the board. Lombardi in the shotgun. Penalty flag before the snap. This one's going to be on the offense. Apparently we were a little loud for those of you at home. My apologies. Jimmy's helping us out. Thank you, Jimmy Olson. Those radio guys, Keith, they always know how to save things.
Well, they certainly do. And they're very descriptive.
Because you can't see them.
That's right.
Sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes you do want to. Like, oh my gosh, how could he? Wow, he fits into the microphone. That is not Jimmy, by the way. Jimmy looks like he could play, what do you think, linebacker?
I continuously move away from him just for fear that he's going to get into this game.
1st and goal from the 12. Lombardi, a bad snap, falls. I don't believe this. Neither team can figure out a way to go forward.
A 1st and goal at the 7.
At the 7. Is now back to the 24.
You hope you can maintain field goal range.
Second and goal from the 24. If you can't snap the ball, None of the other part of the offense can roll. Screen to Mitchell. Caught 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Makes a cut. Touchdown saving tackle for Waukee by Nolan Roffler.
Back to the 8-yard line.
Gain of 16. 3rd and 8.
Or 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal from the 8,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, as far back as you go, you sometimes forget that was a 2nd and goal.
I was trying to explain that to my 11-year-old here the other day. I was like, okay, it could really be long, and Coach Swenson's going to take a timeout. We will as well. 7:02 in the 3rd quarter here on CISN.TV.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
Lombardi throws to Long, caught at the 5, spin down like a top, but no touchdown. Good play by Waukee, Trey Hardy, and Owen Minshall.
You know, this is an interesting deal. Decision-making time. Your defense has been playing well. This could be a tough angle for your kicker.
And they're sending out Cole Peterson right now.
They are.
The snapper is Joel Shaner. Holder is Langston Samples. It's a 21-yard field goal attempt, and it is good.
Negotiated the turn just fine.
21-yard field goal for Cole Peterson puts the Tigers up now 12-7. We'll come back. This is CISN.TV.
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Touchback is the play. Valley had the ball twice inside the 23-yard line and have only come away with 3 points.
And that's just this half.
Yeah, that's just this half. Best field position by far. And again, just signs of this offense struggling to find itself. Waukee is just struggling to keep a hold of the football as they begin their third possession of the game, or of the second half, from their own 20. 6:13 to play. Valley 12, Waukee 7. Paul Yeager, Keith Bornas, here on CISN.TV. Glad you could be here tonight. Or tomorrow. Or whenever you're watching this. 6 years from
Well,
now.
that's
I don't
right.
care.
And speaking of tomorrow,
Yeah.
Valley Waukee play volleyball at 8 a.m. at Valley High School. So it's going to be the Valley Girls Volleyball Invitational. If you're not doing anything, step out and watch some great volleyball.
Hand off to Perry, and he does hold on to it and get positive yardage. That's the third offensive play. It's the third offensive play, and they're finally getting positive yards and getting to do a second. Southeast Polk now leads Johnston 17-13. I can't figure out this league because Johnston beat Centennial last week. Southeast Polk hung with Iowa City West. Quick pass is caught, and then another couple of quick yards after. Randall up ahead to Zach Eaton.
And a 3rd and long. I don't feel like Waukee has had an abundance of 3rd and longs tonight.
Well, they have actually struggled a little bit. They had 85 positive yards rushing and 35 yards passing in that first half. They had the lead for the majority of the half. Randall is running for his life, gets around the edge and has room. He's at the 40, 45, just outside of crossing into Valley territory, all the way up to the 47-yard line. Great run, Mitch Randall, of almost 27 yards. That was a nice play. He got around that. So when you're sealing it, is that your receivers, your tackles? Who's doing the sealing on that?
Yeah. Your wide guy, either the tackle or the tight end's got to seal that edge, and they did a great job offensively. On the defensive side, your defensive end and your outside linebacker have to be the ones to do that, which they just did on that play.
Esplund is wrapped up by Joe Wellman, the senior, 5'9", 182 pounds. Loss of 2.
The reason that a tight end or a defensive end can get to the edge is you don't open yourself correctly on the start of the play. Oh, big play.
Yeah, I was going to say, penalty comes out. Noah Samples never looked back at the ball.
And maybe pushed a little.
And then pushed to regain his position, and that is going to be a penalty. Because do you have to turn around and look for the ball?
You don't have to, but you can't face guard. I mean, as they don't call it face guarding in high school. It's a pass interference or it's not. But if you're not making a play for it and you make contact, it's going to happen regardless. If you're looking back and there's incidental contact, then they might just call it, well, they got their feet tangled up.
So moves it up to the 40. So it's not a spot of the foul like it is in the pros. So now it is at the 40-yard line of Valley.
And a few years ago, there can also be offensive pass interference. And several years ago, that used to be a loss of down play. It's now no longer a loss of down.
Randall fakes it, keeps it, fumbles it. Valley has it again. Combination coming up with it is Connor Shelton. But I think you could just about credit a whole bunch of other people for making it. Randall doesn't need to. He was trying to get one more yard. And credit for trying to make that one extra yard, but it just got out enough pop.
It did. And that's exactly what Coach Carlson was talking about before the game, in that, hey, we know this kid's going to be special. It's just, when is he truly comfortable to do this? And is he going to try to do too much with the inexperience that he's got?
Valley will start it with at their own 32 for their 4th series. And they're going to go handoff Mitchell, and he nearly fumbles the ball. Grabbing a hold of it just before Josh Mitchell did was Creighton Mitchell. Josh Mitchell, Creighton Mitchell. The Mitchell Report coming up tonight at 11 on CISM.TV.
And Mitchell Randall.
Mitchell, you get down here right now. Valley 12, Waukee 7, just under 4 minutes to play. Lombardi. Mitchell is a lot closer to him now, serving as a blocker. Pass is thrown, caught. I think New is having a breakout party tonight.
He kind of is. He's coming into this position. He wanted to earn this spot. At the beginning of the year, you're not really even considering bringing him up as a sophomore because of all of the receivers and H-back people that we have, or W-back people that we have. But Ryan New has worked very hard. An opening came in, and he's taken it.
Lombardi's going to go under center. Hand off Mitchell. Creighton gets across midfield. And that's Josh Mitchell who makes the tackle there. Very little fanfare on a gain of 1.5.
And Valley, as of right now, making some positive yardage. Little by little. We know that there can be plays that are very long, but right now they don't have the time to make those.
Lombardi, the pass was not there. He's going to tuck it and run it. And he's going to keep on going and keep on going inside the 40 to the 38. Tackle by Hunter Deskin.
Bo Lombardi no longer at minus 70 yards.
It's more like minus 50.
Yeah.
Gain of 12.
That was a very nice job. Felt the pocket collapsing around him and started making that move upfield.
Bo, he's wearing his old brother's number, right?
He is.
Rocky wore 12. Bo wore 10, I think, last year.
He did. Uh-oh.
Wide open, in stride. Oh, what a move! Jalen Long put on the brakes, nearly had him run out of the car.
And then got tackled by Tariq Brown in the end zone.
And Jalen Long with a 37-yard touchdown pass. Valley now starting to feel some offense flowing through their veins. Extra point by Peterson is good, and Valley now leads 19-7, the final 2:13 of the third quarter when we come back.
Work, play, and everything in between. Stay cool with Carhartt from G&L Clothing. High-performance jackets, tees, and shorts. Whatever you do, you'll be more comfortable in Carhartt. Find it all at the Carhartt store inside G&L Clothing.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look?
I'm not sure Jalen Long knew how he kept afloat, but he did just enough, and Peterson's kick's going to die at the 3, and Waukee's going to have to return it.
Wow.
What a change of events.
Connor Shelton put a lick on the ball carrier.
So that ball, the return guy, he's thinking, oh, it's going to bounce and head into the end zone. That ball bounced at the 2 and just went straight up. It didn't go forward or backward.
Kind of like your chip shot, Paul.
Yeah, perfect. I'm amazed that I didn't realize my golf game was that well scouted, but it is.
Eyes and ears everywhere.
So, well, I did golf in Jessup this year. It's not unlikely that you would know somebody there. Randall hands off to Perry, who gets through and fumbles the ball again. Picked up by Valley, and then this time a return by Victor Areola. And a late penalty flag comes out.
Now, this will be an interesting deal because the ball flew. You don't know if it was a spike or what it was, or the official thought, oh, Waukee's going to hang on to somebody after the play. So I'm anxious to see how this is going to go. But your golf game in Jessup.
I took the boys. When did we go? Was it in July? No, it was in June, end of June. And we played my home course there. And took the cart out, let the boys drive the golf cart and their golf clubs. It was an interesting day. Let's listen in here. Trying to figure out if it was a spike, if it was somebody said something. It must have been the way the ball traveled after it landed. But the way my drives travel is more to the right or to the left. What do you call that? Combat golf? Left, right, left?
Mm-hmm. Tour. You're touring the course.
That is the third time that Waukee has fumbled on the first play from scrimmage.
Ooh, that's a bad
drive.
stat. A bad stat.
Ball's at the Waukee 8. First and goal for the Tigers, Lombardi. And yet a different running back. They throw it out to Mitchell in the flats. Makes a cutback.
Oh, my gosh.
He's got moves. And he's now got a touchdown.
Oh.
Creighton Mitchell.
Does the name Eric Metcalf mean anything? I saw Eric Metcalf make a move like that for the Cleveland Browns, 20 years ago.
Always relevant with things, Keith.
That's
You're
right.
Always on top of everything.
Everything is current, Paul. Current.
Oh, Mitchell was lined up was Langston Samples. He was next to Lombardi. The extra point is good. We'll further break down this play after this. Valley now starting to pull away, 26-7 here at Valley Stadium.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet's summer drive event featuring the power price. If it's not the power price, it's not the lowest price. New 17 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition 4x4. Power price. $269 per month lease. Only $19.99 down, includes all fees. Power priced 17 Silverado Crew LT 4x4s. $35,290. That's $13,000 off. Power priced 17 Cruise LTs. $16,890. 17 Malibu LTs. $20,390. 18 Equinox LTs. $23,990. Hurry in for best selection. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Another kick headed towards the end zone. This one, though, does carry him in front of Esplund, and Waukee will start at their own 20 with 1:51 to play in the third quarter. That last play, Keith, Creighton Mitchell was lined up in the slot where he had been in all the first half.
Yep.
And it was just a quick out to him, and that's that run and shoot style, We're not throwing downfield. We're just throwing it where we feel we have a mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. And next thing you know, Mitchell's in the end zone with a great move.
You talk about trying to create space. Whatever kind of space you think your running back type people can make, get them into space.
Moving forward for 2 yards. Esplund holds on to it. which is a step in the right direction. I mean, considering 3 drives have ended on the first play, it's been a nightmare second half for Waukee.
Valley's defense kind of stepping up a little bit here. They seem to have a little bit more of a little giddy up in their step.
Pass complete out on that far sideline to Zach Eaton. And he gets maybe 2 yards. Shelton with the tackle.
We have said Connor Shelton's name several times tonight. We've said Eaton's name several times tonight. It's quite a matchup.
Rolling, now running. Oh, nice play. Up over end. The Superman causing tackle was made by Joe Wellman of Mitch Randall.
And a first down saving tackle.
And I'm going to say Randall's down. Yeah, he's a full yard short. And Waukee is going to punt it away. Not take a chance, not leave that short field for Waukee or for Valley.
Yeah. Waukee has not enjoyed playing on this side of the field in the third quarter just yet.
Everybody kind of late in getting things onto the field. I think we're going to have delay. The play clock was at 0, but I don't know if it ever wound correctly.
Conversation time?
Nope, they're going to say it was a delay game.
Yeah. Which could make it shout-out time, Paul.
Who'd you like to talk to this time?
I am going to, there's 2 people. I want to say, number one, hey, is Aunt Cheryl, is she out there tonight? And going to go ahead and give a shout-out to Doug and Sue Buchanan. Doug has said many times that he enjoys listening to me. He might be the only one. I was going to say the only one because my parents don't have internet. So.
Your dad wears a Bluetooth in his ear, but he doesn't have the internet. A tech guy like that.
Techie guy. It's not because he couldn't get it. He just doesn't want to pay for it.
Something with you guys. You're like Luddites or something. Down to the 42-yard line. Punt is fair caught by New. You have your aversion to getting a cell phone. Your dad not wanting the internet. Are you scared of what's out there?
Terrified.
Okay. You do have children that are going to be on the internet soon.
Well,
you do realize that, right?
My phone, when we got it, Ben, the 3-year-old, knew more about it than I did. But I'm getting good, Paul. I'm getting good.
That's good. You now can call and you even texted me.
I text.
I've even gotten text from you. It throws me off. Wait a minute. Is he okay?
Paul, I used the credit card today, and the credit card company emailed my wife.
Because you're so used to not using it?
Well, no.
I don't know if he knows how to use this or not.
It was the receipt for my sandwich.
Oh.
She called and said, do you have the credit card, or did somebody take it?
Creighton Mitchell, and that'll end the third quarter. Valley in control, 26-7, the final quarter when we come back.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years. Building.
We have another quarter to play here, everybody. As we go to the fourth, we start with a penalty. Why not?
So from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and 10. The players are all still the same.
They are.
No changes.
So are your announcers. He's Keith Bornas. I'm Paul Yeager. Play action. Lombardi throws it off his back heel. I think he was trying to go to New.
He was certainly aiming in that direction, but he made a very good choice and just threw it away. Everybody covered. Pressure starting to build. Lived to play another down. Because we certainly know that Waukee is capable of making great defensive plays. Turnovers have been all over the field tonight.
And Valley, they've just capitalized in a couple of spots. This score should probably be more for Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Just not smooth in a lot of facets of the game. Play action again on the jet sweep. Tariq Brown catches it, fumbles it.
That's a scoop and
Waukee's
score.
Gonna pick it up, and nothing in front of Waukee's. Trey Hardy is but green turf. Touchdown, Waukee! Textbook scoop and score there. Brown barely had his hands on it long enough, but did. Caught it, fumbled it, and watch Trey Hardy score.
Coach Swenson did not look impressed at the start of the play. And his attitude toward that play, I don't think really changed much.
That's why we're not going to run the rest of the year. Lining up for the extra point and kicking it through is Ben Lang. Valley 26, Waukee 14. This one's gotten interesting on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
Lots of people still here, but starting to see some file out here at Valley Stadium as the kick is a short one and it's returned up over the 30-yard line by Valley.
And another miscommunication.
And taking it is Carson Shelton.
The nice thing about what we saw there, even though there was miscommunication as to who should have that ball, it was close enough. Carson wasn't going to let it hit the ground. And so Valley has the ball instead of it laying around or bouncing all over the ground.
So Waukee, that's their first score since the first half when they led 7-0. Otherwise, they have struggled to find the end zone. But Valley gets it back for their 7th possession. At the 31-yard line is where they'll start. Lombardi. They're going to have to take some time off, have possessions. Creighton Mitchell keeps it, gets a couple.
And that right there has kind of been all Valley has needed to do in this second half so far is just get positive on first down. As you watch the offensive line, they're trying to funnel everybody around now just to create a little bit of space in the middle. And you start off with a run, you get a little positive, maybe get a little bit more positive. Doesn't look like an empty backfield here right now. Quarterback keeper.
Lombardi keeps it, but not going very far because 55. I don't have a 55.
We'll give it to number 90. Jacob Porter was standing there. And it came to his side.
No, I don't have the 55. Sorry. All right, third down, 8 yards to go. Valley's got to get some yards here. Quick pass across the middle, complete. Tariq Brown, short of the first down.
Zach Eaton was all over him. Great coverage. How Tariq made that catch, I don't know. He did a nice job of kind of framing the ball and only allowing himself to get in there, but wow, what great coverage.
Valley's going to have to punt the ball away. 9:55 clock moving. Lots and lots of time in this game. If Waukee can just get some offense. Defenses have been much better in this game. You'd think this was almost the week 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
Waukee blocked a punt, but finally a nice boomer, and it stops. It takes a left turn at the 28-yard line. Waukee's 6th possession of this half. They've all been either turnovers with 1 punt. No, fumble, 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 punt. It's been a tough offensive go.
Yeah, because it was a defensive score.
Yeah. 28 is where the ball is of Waukee. 1st and 10. Throwing it out to the far side. Nice play. And then it's taken away. Zach Eaton caught it, and then he had nowhere to go.
That rocket screen was set up very well. He had 2 blockers. Valley just really responded to it very well. They read it, got up there. That's a play that potentially goes as far as the end zone is away from you. But Valley did a great job pursuing.
2nd and 7, under 9 to play. Randall, pump fake, going deep. Near sidelines, got a man. But he was wearing the black jersey. On top of that play was Connor Shelton. And the intended receiver was Tyrese Moore. And Moore was on the wrong side of that.
He was. Moore, a very good athlete. I believe an all-state baseball player as well.
Waukee, another good season. Mitch Randall keeps it. Hand down, and he can't find the corner. Making the stop for Valley is John Shaner. And Waukee's going to probably have to punt the ball. Maybe 2. Minshall again to punt. Brown and New back to receive the kick. That punt is blocked. It's going to be picked up.
Wow.
And fallen on. That was an absolute sprint. Darius Manuel. Wow.
Yes, Darius Manuel is a name that Coach Wenson talked about right at the beginning of the game or in your pregame about somebody who had some great playing time last year. Darius is one of those guys who lived in the weight room. If there's anybody on the team that had a huge change between their freshman year and their senior year, Darius made great strides in football just because of his work ethic in the weight room, and now he's kind of that anchor of the defensive line.
1st and 10 from the 12. Lombardi under center. Miss snap, gets it to Mitchell, who Mitchell danced right and didn't go forward. I tell you, Mason's trying to do the same thing. They're not going forward. And I do see Mason now on crutches in front of us, Keith. And he has the left foot iced.
Like just on the outside of his foot, or are you ankle, Achilles?
Doesn't quite look like the Achilles. It doesn't look quite like the ankle. It really looks like the outside of that foot. Maybe he got stepped on.
Oh, you hate to see that. There's a lot of little bones in there.
Mitchell, after the hand down drill, works to perfection up to the 10. Clock moving now as we approach the 7-minute mark. Third and 9. Valley trying to get more than just a field goal attempt. They can still get a first down without a touchdown. Mitchell, they were looking on the read option, and it wasn't there. Mitchell, nowhere to go.
There, yes, not much of a read because there wasn't much of an option.
Okay, good. It's also in the PA. They don't have 55 on their roster either.
Huh.
So now Valley faces a 20. Well, the ball will be placed at the 21, making it a 31-yard field goal attempt for Peterson. Good snap. The hold is down, but the kick does go through. 32-yard field goal is good. Valley gets some points back out of the turnover. 29-14, 6:01 to play here on CISN.TV.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
Valley kicks. Waukee not able to return, but the ball goes out of bounds. So Waukee will, since the ball went out of bounds before Waukee could return it, it'll be Waukee's choice, and they're going up to the 35-yard line. That's where they'll start their drive here with 6:01. Good field position. Now they just got to find some offense. Randall still in the gun, rolls out to his left side, tucks it and runs. Goes up and over, and that hole closed in a hurry. And there is Bracken Cobb and Logan Castle.
Bracken Cobb, also on the Valley wrestling team, he knows how to shoot a double leg.
Well, he did right there. Randall's got Esplin next to him, now is acting as a lead blocker. Randall rolls, throws, incomplete. Breaking it up is Connor Shelton, the intended receiver. Sam Odell. Haven't seen much out of Odell tonight.
Coverage on the play by number 2, Connor Shelton. Now 3rd and 5.
So Randall, big first game here at Valley Stadium.
And it being impressive.
And it is. This kid's got a great future ahead. Randall's going to throw down that far sideline. Nice, pretty pass. In stride, just off the hands of Moore. Oh, that was close. Throws a pretty ball.
Does throw a pretty ball. There is a Valley defensive back jogging back to the huddle right now, thinking, I am probably going to hear about that tomorrow.
On how well he did, you mean?
No, I think.
Or
Roy,
just hear how he did.
Yes, there will
or
be.
didn't do.
There will be some comments.
Randall rolls and then runs, and he'll be short there on 4th down, and that'll be a turnover on downs, and that's really what Waukee had to do.
Mhm.
Down 2 possessions. You're down 15.
And regardless of how anything has gone here, Randall is still your biggest threat.
Yeah. Well, especially since Perry can't hang on to the ball.
Yeah.
And Esplin, without Perry, Esplin's been kind of taken out of. Waukee did very well in that first quarter. They moved
Yes.
the ball wherever they needed to.
And coming out of halftime, it's a ball game. They come out, they get a stop, they take the ball, and then things just, a small snowball turned into a pretty big deal. This is not a reflection of what Waukee's team is, or certainly will be, but it's how the game went tonight.
Well, and if you don't score, if Valley doesn't score, right there before half, Lombardi's going to roll out, throw. Brown's there. He made the wrong. Oh, he wasn't throwing for Brown. He was throwing for New down the hash. I was watching Brown on the out. If Valley doesn't score before half, it's 7-2 Waukee. Now, Valley gets the ball coming out of the halftime locker room commentary period. I guess they call that halftime. It's a different game because I don't think Valley is seen very. They're not saying a lot of good things in their locker room at half after that first half. But it's about adjustments. I still don't think the Valley offense is running on all cylinders right now.
Right. It's now going to be a question of which team is going to have the bigger upside as the season continues. And I got to believe both teams are going to be very, very formidable in the mid to late October season.
Creighton Mitchell on the cutback to the 35. And it'll be 3rd and about 5. 4. So Creighton Mitchell being pressed into duty. He's probably not been taking a lot of reps. I mean, he's listed as a running back on the roster, or on the 2 deep, but he's really playing more of a slot.
Yep. And it was really nice because when you had a kid like Mason, a leader like Mason, you have some other players that like Mitchell, you can make a lot of formation adjustments and not take anybody in or out of the game.
Mitchell takes the handoff, and he'll be short. And we're still, I'd say, a couple of minutes before you can start thinking about next week's game. You still got to.
Well, right.
This one's not over yet. Beautiful night. Thought it was going to get a little cooler than it was, but flags have kind of laid limp on that northeast side of the stadium.
I did go out during the halftime show and listen to the March Masters. Their show this year is going to be entitled A Pale Blue Dot, inspired by Carl Sagan quotes. And when I was out there, it was a little chilly.
Yeah. I put in a jacket, my CISN.TV jacket. See all sorts of these shirts running around now. Next week, here on CISN.TV, there'll be a game from Valley Stadium. The home team will be Dowling Catholic. Valley will be the visiting team. on the scoreboard, but will sit on their side of the stadium. And Dowling will be the home team, but sit on the far sideline. This place will have a couple of people here,
There will be a few.
would be my guess.
Yes.
Always a good crowd attender. Drake Stadium not available. That's where this game's been played the last couple of times when it's been a home Dowling game, and that to me is the best setting for it.
Right.
Other than the Unidome.
I think I remember a few years ago, it's a Valley Dowling game here at Valley Stadium, close to 10,000 people here, and I thought Pete said there was almost 15,000 watching it.
Quite a few. Handoff Mitchell on 4th down, and I think he's got it. The far side judge, and so does the near. They have his knee down. That's going to be really close. In fact, that might be short.
They called it? They called it.
Okay, the one was at the 30. They both had their foot at the 31, and that is where the chain was at. Yeah, and I'm sure that was just on the initial time, and people go back and watch it. It's always a fun game, and that'll be the broadcast crew of Mark Amadeo, Dave Marcoulier, and Brian Moore should be back. So that'll be a Dowling home game in Valley Stadium. Because another option was to play it on a Thursday. I don't think you want that game on a Thursday or a Saturday.
Not so much.
Both teams familiar with the place. Lombardi hands off Mitchell. Jukes in, jukes out, gets up to the 25.
Mitchell with the carry.
And Waukee calls a timeout. We'll step away for just a quick bit. 3 minutes to play here in this contest. Valley 29, Waukee 14.
Miss your hometown clothing store, the one that had it all, everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
You got Iowa opening up with Wyoming tomorrow morning at 11.
Now, am I correct that Rico Gafford will be back in
plays
Iowa?
for Wyoming. Yeah, the former East High Scarlet and Dowling Catholic Maroon. Holding on Valley, we'll send them backwards. So, yeah, and then you've got probably one of the best quarterbacks in the country playing for Wyoming, Allen. And that game kicks at 11. And then it's 7 tomorrow night. Your UNI Panthers and the Iowa State Cyclones.
There's another big event going on tomorrow.
Is Wartburg playing? Oh.
Well, maybe somewhere. But Anna Bornis.
Oh, yes.
Turns
Yes,
7 tomorrow.
It's a big deal.
Big deal.
Mitchell is thrown for a loss back at the 40. And I think that was Jack Morrison.
Yeah, he certainly let him know he wasn't going any further.
What's the theme of this year's birthday party?
Well, I got to back up just a little bit because Ben turned 3 this past summer, and we had a Valley birthday party. The mascot actually came to the house, and Ben was pretty excited about that. I'm stalling here, Paul, because I know what the theme is. Amy has told me it's evading me just a little bit. I appreciate you asking
you
that question. And
I'm just caring about your kids and how they are, and I'm looking to see if Amy and Ben and Anna, are they still here? I don't.
They are. Actually, what Anna's going to have two parties. We're going to have our family party tomorrow, and then on Sunday, we are slated to go out to the Animal Rescue League and have a petting party.
As long as you don't come home with a pet.
Oh, my biggest fear, Paul. My biggest fear.
Same with mine. That's why we'll never. Great place, the IRL. But we're just not taking the kids to say, I want a kitten. 3rd and 19 with 2:49 to play. Lombardi rolls out on the naked boot. And he's sacked. Jake Morrison not giving up yet in 4th down.
Yes, mechanically and everything setting up in that play executed very well. But when it boils down to foot speed, Waukee had the upper hand.
Okay, so Waukee will get the ball back here if they can hold on 4th. And if Valley doesn't get another yard, they take over at the 42. 2:42, no timeouts. It's not impossible to score a couple of times.
Well, it's not. It's a 2-possession game.
Yeah. I think it might be a little early to be doing the I believe we just won chant.
That's right.
But what do I know?
Exactly. If Waukee is able to move the ball down the field and get a score, you know the onside has to come because they can't stop the clock after that.
Yeah, the students are all kind of looking around like, yep, this one's over. Where do you guys want to go afterwards? That's cool. Hey, can I snap you? I'm going to chat with you. And on
you know,
Snapface.
I did see Victor E. Tiger up in the stands, and I think he was explaining to the guys, it's not over yet.
Peterson gets that punt, and it's going to go bounce at the 14 and go out of bounds. Victor is his name?
Victor E., like Wild
Victor
E.
E.
Coyote.
Mhm.
It's Victor E. Tiger.
It's nice.
Victor is a tremendous Tiger, very thoughtful. He even brought Ben a gift for his birthday.
Some of the old decals from the helmets.
No, it was a pail and a shovel, and Ben has been digging ever since.
Randall throws, and incomplete. Oh, Ben. Oh, Ben.
That's all right.
2:28, clock stopped. Next week, Waukee will be at Ankeny. And then they host Dowling Catholic, go to Roosevelt. Randall's running for his life, throws off his back foot. He's got a receiver. Nice battle. Caught! You got to get 2 scores. You got to get the first one. Tyrese Moore is going to do it. 86 yards for the score. Ho-ho!
A lot of hands on the heads in the student section. And the few students that are still over on Waukee's side letting us know that they are still there.
81-yard touchdown.
An impressive play. Talking about Randall as an elusive quarterback, you have to be there to try and stop any run potential that he's got. But that was an impressive throw. On the run, it had to have carried 50-plus yards in the air.
Moore is the holder. I don't know how he had enough breath to hold it. Kicking it through for the extra point is Ben Lang. Hey, we still got a good one. 29, 21, 2:14. An onside kick is coming up next.
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
This is
Valley 29, Waukee 21, and we're pretty sure an onside kick is coming.
Yeah, if it's not,
Now kicking off for the Warriors, number 19.
they must have a plan.
They're still playing hands,
Yes.
2 lines. I still think it's coming near side. And it's a short. It didn't even look like an onside where it bounced. It was more of a hardliner.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, that's 8. I'm going to struggle. I complain about the little things. Jackson Barr recovered. I'm like, that's not Mitchell. That's Barr. The numbers just kind of bunch up.
Well, earlier tonight, Ryan New has been playing all night. He's number 83.
Yeah.
Cole Peterson, number 13 for Valley. There was a pass play where they were going for Ryan New down the field, and I could have sworn it was Cole Peterson.
Yeah.
Yes, the numbers, bunch.
Bunch a little. All right, so Valley will have the football at the 45, their own 45. Waukee out of timeouts. You got to do more than just take a knee, but you don't want to do much more than that. Mitchell spins and gets his way up towards midfield. He gains 4 on the play before Ethan Rose gets a hand on him. Johnston defeats Southeast Polk tonight, 27-17. So Johnston improves to 2-0. Centennial was leading Ankeny at last check 21-0. Ankeny started the season last year either 0-3 or 0-4. Came back to make it into the playoffs. Mitchell, the handoff, and spun around. It'll be 3rd and manageable. 3rd and about 3, 1:23. And
Mr. McDonald doing some spinning to the ground there. I am impressed with the potential of Waukee's football team.
oh, they have Dowling Catholic. And they have to play Johnston and Sioux City North yet. I don't know how good North is this year, but they have to play Johnston. That decided, I think, the district title last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it'll be close to doing it again. Lombardi lets that clock go down as long as he can. Mitchell keeps it.
First down.
And gets it across the 45, and that is when you can start your cheer. That is going to do it. Now all Valley has to do is they're a couple of knees away from winning it now.
Ball security, never so important.
What's your motion for just take a knee? Or does he just know? You have to signal that play in?
I think it's one of those things that you can kind of signal it in, but the guys know. I mean, it was discussed after Waukee scored that touchdown, saying, hey, we got to get a first down, and after we get that first down, we're taking a knee. So I think they knew going in, if they got the first down, it was happening. And that is it.
Good, because I just tweeted it.
Paul, you got ahead of yourself.
I got a little 7 seconds. I hit send. Sorry. Valley improves to 2-0. Waukee falls to 1-1. Valley 29, Waukee 21. That is a final. Keith and I will be back with your post-game show right after this from Valley Stadium.
Work, play, and everything in between. Stay cool with Carhartt from G&L Clothing. High-performance jackets, tees, and shorts. Whatever you do, you'll be more comfortable in Carhartt. Find it all at the Carhartt store inside G&L Clothing.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for
Work, play, and everything in between.
Chevrolet Summer Drive event featuring the Power Price. If it's not the Power Price, it's not the lowest price. New 17 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition 4x4. Power Price. $269 per month lease. Only $19.99 down, includes all fees. Power priced 17 Silverado Crew LT 4x4s. $35,290. That's $13,000 off. Power priced 17 Cruise LTs. $16,890. 17 Malibu LTs. $20,390. 18 Equinox LTs. $23,990. Hurry in for best selection. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Hello, everybody. Keith Bornes, Paul Yeager. Welcome back to Valley Stadium. The Tigers tonight hold on for a 29-21 win over the Waukee Warriors. And Keith, Waukee strikes first and dominated that first half. The Valley offense was pretty much non-existent until the final 9 seconds of the final drive of the first half.
Right. As we were talking, very impressed with Waukee as far as their upside. They show up tonight, put a score on right away. Their defense plays very well. Their offensive play, inconsistent.
Yeah.
But that's what Coach Carlson said was going to happen. They're going to put all of their faith into Randall at the quarterback job, and they're just waiting for him to have all of the components there. A couple of mishaps with the ball, some fumbles, but they're right there. It's still an 8-point game.
And if you don't turn the ball over 4 times in the second half, but the Waukee offense struggled in the second half, just couldn't find anything.
Right.
So a lot of this game, there's game planning, and then there's in-game adjustments. And you talk about second half, halftime. Some of that stuff is done in the first half. And it looked like Valley just figured out how to stop Randall. But then in the second half, Valley didn't have to do anything other than just fall on the football.
Well, yes. And is that a question of, is it a bad snap? Is it a bad handoff? Did the center not wipe his hands before he touched the ball? Is it an adjustment that the line made, and now all of a sudden the center is making a pre-snap read, and then when the snap happens, he wasn't ready for it?
Yeah.
Or, there's a lot of things that go on in the minds of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and especially in a big game. So, who knows exactly how it happened or why it happened. But, yes, you talk about eliminating those turnovers, and Waukee's going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to get all of that ironed out as the year goes on. They're going to be a very impressive ball club. So now the question, is Valley going to find some consistency with their offense as they started to turn on a little bit?
They're going to face an incredible defense next week in
Yes.
Dowling Catholic. That is just a well-oiled machine, as well as the offense. I mean, they haven't won 4 straight titles for nothing. They just figure out a way. And I know the offensive line, there's a big right tackle that Dowling has, and he's the one not with a Division I offer yet, or has some, but not Swish. So there's a lot of good guys that'll be coming to play here. And that game kicks off at 7. Valley will sit on the home side, but be the visiting team. And that game will also be on CISN.TV. And check the site throughout the weeks on the Facebook page. Let you know what other games we're going to have. But For Keith Bornas and the entire crew here at CISN TV, I'm Paul Yeager. Final score again from Valley Stadium. Valley 29, Waukee 21. So long from West Des Moines.
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years. Building a strong...
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.